Last year, Kevin Glenn had to step in just about the entire season for Travis Lulay. Same story for Darian Durant this time around, coming off a brilliant game, although one pick six. And Saskatchewan lost that one in overtime. Taking on the Lions and Lulay tonight. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Wendy's Friday Night Football. I'm Rod Smith, part two of our doubleheader, along with Jock Climby, Milt Stiegel, and Chris Schultz. The Saskatchewan Roughriders had the Toronto Argonauts last week. Late drive, capped off by that touchdown to force OT, and ultimately Toronto won it by 2 points. So the Riders fall to 0-2, Schultz. How concerned are you?
I'm not really that concerned. They threw for 477 yards against the Toronto Argonauts. They ran for 212 yards against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I think they can turn it around. They've just got to make the plays in the fourth quarter.
I'm concerned. Not for the offense. You talked about they've done great on offense. What about that defense? Yeah, they've given up, 72 points, over 800 total yards, and who's in control of that defense? The head coach, Coach Chamberlain. So there has to be concern. I'm sure the pressure's on him to get those guys playing better. You can't continue giving up those amount of points, those yards, and think you're going to be competitive, Jock.
You know, when I saw the Alouettes play last year, great defense, no offense, and saw that you can't go anywhere in the CFL, that, again, it just proved that to me. If you have a great offense, which Saskatchewan appears to have, I think you've got potential. And the way Kevin Glenn's running that offense right now is amazing. Yes, the defense needs to tighten it up, but they're going to get there.
How about the Lions, Schultz? One game in Ottawa last week, the debut for Jeff Tedford. We saw that Travis Lulay's arm is strong. What are your impressions of them? Patience.
You got to have patience. The team doesn't necessarily have an identity. They have to find some unknown talent to really step up and play really good football that hasn't been recognized yet, Milton.
Well, everybody's going to say I'm being Mr. Negative, but there are a couple of areas I'm concerned with. That back end on defense. They didn't look good in that. I know it was just one game, but there was supposed to be some veterans, some older guys back there. They didn't look good. And where is Harris? Where is Andrew Harris? He should touch the ball 20 to 25 times a game. Get him the ball. You got to feed him more.
Yeah, Harris had 16 touches last week. I agree he could have the ball more. But for me, Travis Lulay stayed healthy through the whole game. That, to me, is the biggest reason for optimism for this football team. And it's one game. I don't think we know anything about the BC Lions at this stage.
Well, that one touchdown pass that Travis Lulay threw, that was to Austin Collie for his first CFL touchdown. That was a great pass. His arm does look strong. 18 for 32 in that game, but a loss, 27-16 to the Ottawa Red Blacks. Daniel Brown of Vancouver, you could win the ultimate $25,000 home theater package from Visions Electronics if a kickoff is returned for a touchdown in this game tonight, thanks to Safeway's touchdown to win promotion. And if a second kickoff is returned for a touchdown in this game, you could also be in store for $1 million. Daniel, good luck with that. Travis Lulay warming up, looking to give BC their first win of the season. Saskatchewan still looking for win number 1. Part 2 of the Wendy's Friday Night Football doubleheader coming up. Chris Cuthbert and Glenn Suter will have the call from BC Place.
Welcome to Supernatural BC. The roof is open, the sails are up at BC Place Stadium for the Lions home opener. BC and Saskatchewan each looking for their first win of 2015.
Last year, Kevin Glenn was on the other sideline wearing an orange jersey. He led the Lions to his record was 8-9 as their starter. This is his 5th different team in the Canadian Football League. His record against the BC Lions, 8-11. Travis Lulay makes his first start in BC Place since September of 2013. He got through all 4 quarters in Ottawa last week, which was goal number 1. Now he wants to lead BC to their first win of the 2015 season.
There's the new head coach of the Lions, who played his final game in the CFL as a Saskatchewan Roughrider, looking for his first CFL victory as a head coach against Saskatchewan. On the other sideline, Corey Chamberlain 0-2 for the first time as the head man. It's only the second time in 11 years that Saskatchewan has been 0-2 to start. So Tristan Jackson, playing in his 100th Canadian Football League game, is back. Richie Leone has it on the tee. These two teams split their 2 regular season games last season. Who gets off the schneid tonight? Jackson from the Roughrider 10-yard line. And up across the 30 through an arm tackle. There is a flag. as Jackson's wrestled down at the 37. Special teams captain Jason Araki downfield. Tim Croker in charge tonight.
During the return, holding Saskatchewan number 90. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Dylan Ainsworth called on the hold that will push the Roughriders back.
Kevin Glenn in the double overtime game against Toronto threw for 477 yards, did not get the win in double overtime. Jerome Messam, their leading rusher in the first 2 weeks of the season, and Weston Dressler last week against Toronto, a quiet 82 yards. They need him to step up in this one against BC.
Roughriders with 1,076 yards of offense in the first 2 games. The pass over the middle is complete, and there is Dressler. That's the most yardage by a team in consecutive losses since that stat was available starting in 1996.
Weston Dressler, Jerome Messam up against the Lions defense led by their linebacking core in Solomon Elamimian and Adam Bighill. Their most experienced DB, because Ryan Phillips is out of the lineup tonight, is Cord Parks on the wide side corner. We'll see if they miss that leadership in the back end.
Number 7 Dressler gets 7. And it's 2nd and 3. Glenn empties it out, throws downfield. Dressler's got another. And he's wrestled down at the 42-yard line. Roughriders without Ryan Smith, but
yeah,
Weston Dressler off to a hot start, has 20.
Leading receiver in the CFL after 2 weeks was Ryan Smith out of North Dakota State, and he's on the 6-game injured, hurt in the game against Toronto. I mentioned the quiet 82 from Weston Dressler. He made some plays last week in his first game of 2015, but you know Glenn's going to lean on him more tonight.
Lions surrendered 296 passing yards in their season opening loss in Ottawa. And off to Anthony Allen, and Allen rips off a first down run across midfield. He has averaged 7.7 yards per carry to start, and he'll up that with a 16-yard carry.
Chris Best and Levi Adcock with the down blocks open up a nice hole for Anthony Allen.
First down and back in the hands of Allen. Relatively quiet last week. Short game here. He was 4 for 13 against Toronto.
Is tackled immediately by Craig Rowe.
The leading rusher has been Jerome Messam, and he had a big game against Toronto as well, but Anthony Allen actually has a better rushing average at 7.7 coming into tonight. Just not as many carries.
102 in the first game. Messam in now. The two backs have averaged 7.2 yards a carry between them. So terrific production. 2nd and long. Glenn ducks under the rush. Flag comes down. He'll take off. And Elamimian there, along with Josh Johnson, to make sure he doesn't get to the first down stick.
Well, I tell you what, Chris, Darian Durant already out for the season with an Achilles. Corey Chamberlain does not want to see Kevin Glenn lowering his shoulder and taking on Solomon Elamimian.
Saskatchewan number 66. Penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Chris Best called on the hold. Fined last week for a clip in the overtime game. And the punt team will come on.
I think Jacques Chapdelain's talking to Kevin Glenn right now, saying, hey, I hear you on the scramble, eyes up, but next time you and Solomon are squaring, Elamimian are squaring off, just hook slide.
Alex Tillman back. Ray early to punt. And this one floats into the end zone. And they're going to bring it out. Dangerous call. And plunging out to the 9-yard line, Ronnie Yell, not usually a returner, and he gives Travis Lulay a long field for his first start of the season on home turf.
That's a mistake out of the gate for Ronnie Yell, and put Travis Lulay inside his own 10-yard line to start his first drive at home and his first start since September of 13 in BC Place.
35-21 as a starter, but how about his record here at BC Place?
Yeah.
17-1. Play action fake to Harris and a catch. and a first down for Manny Arsenault. Brought down by Jeff Knox, but Arsenault, the favorite target last week, 7 for 112, and a late flag is tossed. It'll likely be an objectionable conduct.
Well, as they sort that out, I'll show you the route there from Manny Arsenault. Quick slant. Ball right on him.
After the play, objectionable conduct. BC number 84. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So he had something to say. And Jeff Tedford may have something to say when he gets to the sidelines.
2 mental mistakes to start this game for BC, and they have to climb out of the hole early. Mistake in the return to come out of the end zone, and then Manny Arsenault after the play was over.
Leading receiver for the Lions last year with 905 yards on 62 catches. So first down at the 14. And it's Harris. Trying to establish a run game. Was a sore spot last week for the Lions.
13 carries for 48 yards for Andrew Harris last week. Just a 3.7 yard average, not good enough. And the BC Lions need to see more production out of their tailback. 20 to 25 carries. There's Travis Lulay.
Harris missed the last 6 games of 2014. Pass completed. And that's one of the newcomers, Cam Mora, who played for Tedford in college at Cal Berkeley.
A big target, tight end at Cal Berkeley, and a guy who can be used in a lot of different matchup situations here. If they can get him on a linebacker to size mismatch, if it's that adjusting back or a dime back, and you see Macho Harris stepping up to make the tackle.
Mora 6'3", 250, a hybrid receiver as they're calling it in BC, and again Harris straight ahead, and he breaks a tackle, spins off contact, and that looks like the Andrew Harris we've seen in the past.
Yeah, that's more like it. Breaking tackles. He's got a great spin move when he runs the football, and this is the Andrew Harris of old. I talked to him yesterday about his ankle and asked, was there any swelling after the Ottawa game? He said a little bit, but the ankle's fine. Physically, he said he's fine. He said now he's got to trust it and make all the cuts he used to make instinctively.
Just 4 carries, 13 yards in the second half. John Chick, the tackle, after a 10-yard run. Back in Harris's hands this time, nothing doing. Shut down by the young middle linebacker in his second game, Jake Doughty.
Interesting to see John Chick play against this young offensive line for the BC Lions, and there's Jake Doughty in his second start at middle linebacker, and Weldon Brown, watching him, and early in this game in the first series against the BC Lions, to see Weldon Brown going to the short side and matching up tonight with Manny Arsenault.
3-man front for the Roughriders on 2nd and 11. Lulay to pass, looking for Burnham, and it's incomplete. Drop pass is Brian Burnham. Couldn't squeeze it. So 3 first downs on the opening possession for BC.
Yeah, I think both quarterbacks got some field position back in their opening drives. First, Kevin Glenn on the penalty off the kickoff put him in a bit of a hole, and he got some field position back. Lulay got that back with a few first downs in drive number 1.
Richie Leone blasts that. From his 21, it's Tristan Jackson, 52-yard punt. Good cover, led again by Jason Araki. And it will be Jerome Messam and the Roughriders on offense when we return for the Lions home opener at BC Place. Mentioned Kevin Glenn had 477 yards passing last week. That's the most for a Rough Rider quarterback since Darian Durant threw for 500 in an overtime game back in September of 2010 against Calgary. First down, play action fake, and back into the hands of Dressler. Third catch and another first down for Dressler. Up at the 40, he's got 11.
Jason Araki on that last cover, punt cover team for the BC Lions. Looked like he jammed his knee here. He got right down and took contact early on here, but looked like he jammed his knees. He took another step and then was kind of limping towards this tackle. You can see him favoring that left leg. Gets involved with it, helps with the tackle, and they're trying to shake that off on the bench.
All-time special team tackle leader with the Lions. First down, fake to Messam, pass to Getzlaff, and another Rough Rider first down up across the 50-yard line.
Be surprised at all to see Kevin Glenn go to play action as much as possible in this game, even if it's not set up, because he's got a young secondary back there for BC. No Ryan Phillips in the secondary. His consecutive game streak comes to an end, and Kevin Glenn can try and suck those guys up a little bit with play action. See if he can't get one in behind him.
Kevin Glenn passed Matt Dunnigan on the all-time list. Passing last week, he's in 7th spot, and now 17 yards away from 44K on the odometer. It'll be the fly sweep to Dressler, trying to get outside, and Adam Bighill, big play defensively.
8 tackles in one game for Adam Bighill, just picking up these two guys where they left off. Watch the quickness as Bighill's going to close from that linebacker spot. Not fooled by any of the motion going to the opposite direction. Just steps right up, cuts off the lane.
Alex Carroll checks into the Rough Rider offense. The Victoria, BC native. Part of a 5-receiver set on 2nd and long. Draw play. And it's Allen for the first down. Good hard run before Elimimian takes him down.
Kevin Glenn's going to call this play on the line of scrimmage, and he brings Anthony Allen from the left side. It looks like he's just going to go opposite, and he starts to call the audible, bringing Anthony Allen to his right. That's a play called by Glenn on the line. Give it to him to the draw on the opposite side, and they get the first down.
11-yard run for Allen, who was quiet last week against the Argonauts. First down at the BC 45. Glenn stands in wide open. Weston Dressler. Touchdown, Saskatchewan. Busted coverage, and it's a 45-yard touchdown strike.
First bust in this young secondary for the BC Lions. Their coach on the field isn't there tonight, and Kevin Glenn doesn't take long to take advantage of it. Just a normal corner route there from Weston Dressler. And with a receiver that wide open, Glenn just wants to drop it right in there.
Dressler over 7,000 yards receiving, and Glenn over 44,000 passing on that connection. And Paul McCallum back in his old stomping grounds, but back in green and white, looking for the extra point. Out of the hold of Dressler. It's 7-0 Saskatchewan. 5 plays, 81 yards. And Weston Dressler has his first touchdown of 2015.
Dressler takes advantage of a busted coverage here from BC. There's Dressler there. It's a 3-deep zone with 1 player deep here, middle third taken, and one of these two has to get to the deep third on the short side of the field. Both Lion defenders take that short route. They take the curl and leave Dressler wide open in behind him.
Here's the rookie Shaquille Murray-Lawrence, brought down across the 30-yard line on another special team tackle by Dylan Ainsworth.
One more look at that touchdown. TJ Lee, either TJ Lee has to get deep, or on the outside Ronnie Yell. One of the two had deep responsibility there. Both took the short zones. And Dressler says thank you very much in behind him.
See how the Lions respond. Their second series, and Lule going to take a shot. Those bumping down there. Pass intended for Austin Collie, and Tyree Hollins, the young DB, was right with him, and Collie looking for a flag.
Good start for Austin Collie last week against Ottawa. He had a touchdown, had 5 catches. I think at the end of this play, he gets more of the pushing as he extends. A little bit of an argument, but I think it was a good no call.
5 catches last week, 65 yards and a touchdown in his CFL debut. Draw play to Harris, and he gets hauled down around the 40-yard line, short of the first down. And it's a 2-and-out for the Lions.
Saskatchewan defense in game 1 did not force a 2-and-out against Winnipeg, and then in game 2 they forced 4. So an improvement there. Get the first one tonight against the BC Lions.
Leone. This one will bounce. And Jackson picks it up at the 28. 42-yard punt. Jackson brings it back, and Lambala on the tackle. We're in beautiful BC, and the visiting Roughriders have the early lead. First time in 11 years the Lions don't have Ryan Phillips in that secondary. Let's check in with Farin Lalji.
Yeah, and he's playing coach on the sideline as we try to figure out what happened on that last play. Maybe an area you would have been.
Yeah, I mean, you know, everybody's kind of living and learning right now. It's going to be a lot of trial and error, but, I mean, guys got to step up and make plays. We can't get caught in between, and because that's the result that you get.
181 consecutive games. How difficult is it to watch this?
I've never been in this position before, so it's definitely difficult. But it's really not about me at this point right now. It's about the team, and I got to be a vet and make sure that I got my guys in the right direction to make a couple more plays.
Can you get a sense of when you might be back?
I say in 2 weeks. I'm banking on 2 weeks, so come this next home game against Toronto, I'll be looking to be in action.
Thanks for this, Ryan.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Pulled a hamstring with the touchdown play by Greg Ellingson last week. Somebody out there better stop Weston Dressler.
Yeah.
He's already over 100 yards, and Kevin Glenn is 6 for 6 in the game.
That's Mark Washington, the defensive coordinator's job now. He and Ryan Phillips over there. Coach Phillips got to figure out how to stop Dressler.
Another completion for Glenn. This one not going very far as Tosh Smith is met right at midfield. That'll be a loss of 1.
40 career interceptions for the veteran, Ryan Phillips. And I talked to Mark Washington before the game. I said, how important is it to have Ryan on the sideline because you don't have him on the field? And Mark said, yeah, I have an assistant coach on the field when I have number 21 out there. Now I'm just going to have to wait for the guys to come to the bench. And while I'm overseeing the defense, I'm going to expect Ryan to work with this young secondary.
Passing situation, 3-man front for the Lions, 4 receivers to the wide side. Glenn has time, but it's picked off, intercepted by Hoffman Ellis, and brought down at the 35-yard line. Alex Hoffman Ellis with the interception.
Hoffman Ellis shows blitz, comes up into the line of scrimmage. A little bit of a disguise, but was really in the sight line. He's right here, looks like he's going to show blitz, and then he drops out of there. And when he does, Kevin Glenn doesn't see him. He's in the sight line of the quarterback as he flips his head around to that left side and throws it right to 11.
First incompletion on the night for Glenn. And a big chance for the Lions. Well, hitch goes to Arsenault. And he's bumped out inside the 30-yard line. Looks like Weldon Brown's got the task of shutting down Manny Arsenault tonight.
Yeah, so far that's been the matchup. I mean, they have gone ahead, and Corey Chamberlain told us yesterday Weldon Brown's his best cover man. His best straight cover man in the lineup tonight. And he's got him out there on number 84 for this entire first quarter. And it looks like Brown by that shot was trying to find him. This will be a fun matchup to watch.
9 for Arsenault, 2nd and 1, and plunging ahead for the first down is Harris.
2 catches against Weldon Brown. That opening play on the quick slant.
Western All-Star, who had his 12th career 100-yard game last week in Ottawa. 7 catches, targeted 12 times in that game by Lule. First down and the sweep. And it's Shaquille Murray-Lawrence, 21-year-old out of UNLV. National running back who will back up Andrew Harris this year with 4.4 speed. Well, an offensive guru
and former quarterback.
See what Jeff Tedford's offense has on 2nd down and 6. Pressure, crosser, caught, and a big thud on the hit. Tristan Jackson on the tackle as Arsenault upended short of the first down.
Yeah, Tristan Jackson gets him on the opposite side of the formation, but the coverage is Weldon Brown coming all the way across the field here, and he's right in his hip pocket. In that matchup we just showed you, you could see Weldon Brown tracking him, runs around, and he gets help from his teammate Tristan Jackson, who's sitting on the other side waiting.
So here's Leone, who was 2 for 2 last week, a couple of chip shots from 11 and 12 yards. This from 25. And he sneaks it in. And the Lions are on the board in the final minute of this first quarter. 3 points off the interception turnover by the Roughriders. Well, CFL on TSN continues Monday. It's the Argonauts and the Stampeders. Action kicks off at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific on TSN. Trevor Harris has got the Argos out of the gate to 2-0, and the Stamps coming off a loss last week in Montreal. So the Lions on the board, and Kevin Glenn back to work as they take the football at the 35 after the field goal. They'll screen it, and it's the fullback Spencer Moore. Cut down at the 40-yard line. Tackle made by Josh Johnson. Looks like Moore might be used a little bit more. That's his 4th catch of 2015.
More for more.
In his 3rd year, 1 more play, and not one Kevin Glenn pass so far has hit the new carpet here at BC Place. Second and 4. And there looks like there's some confusion, and Glenn's going to have to take a timeout. Not all on the same page.
Timeout, Saskatchewan.
Play call didn't match the personnel grouping because Glenn just pointed to a teammate and then looked at his offensive coordinator, Jacques Chapdelaine, of course, former BC offensive coordinator.
There's the former Lion boss and Simon Fraser, head coach. Boy, he's got that offense purring early in 2015 here with his new team. And there's another familiar face, Dan Durazio, the offensive line coach for many years in BC, now wearing green and white. He's coming in late to work. He's checking in at 4:30. Used to be 1:32 a.m. here.
A.m., yeah.
Taj Smith has a catch, wrestled down by TJ Lee, but it is a first down on the final play of the opening quarter. Kevin Glenn looks sharp, but for 1 pass. And through 15 minutes here at BC Place, it's the visiting Roughriders with a 7-3 lead. Here are the stats at the end of the first quarter. And Kevin Glenn has played 7 quarters this year, averaging over 100 yards passing per quarter.
You know, we have to take or Kevin Glenn needs us to take the but out of the sentence when we talk about Kevin Glenn. I mean, again, like last week, he plays very well enough to win, 477 yards passing, but for one throw in that first quarter, over 100 yards passing, but for one throw. He's got to eliminate the but and continue to play the way he's playing, because he's putting the numbers up. He hasn't thrown an incompletion in this game, but he's thrown one to the wrong color.
Travel often. See the world.
720 passing yards already this season for Glenn. First down at the 45. Anthony Allen to the right side. Cut down by the MOP. Better call Saul. Elimimian with the tackle.
Well, there's the other part of what he brings to the BC Lions defense. He brings this ability to get to the ball as faster than any linebacker in the game. But watch the enthusiasm after the tackle. I mean, he flies over there, makes the play, shoots the gap, gets up, gets his team fired up from the bench all the way out onto the field.
So 2nd and 10. 5-pack of receivers. Pressure on, stood in, got it to Messam. And Elimimian there to make sure he doesn't advance to first down range.
Now that was the 2-and-out for 56. Creates a Saskatchewan 2-and-out with back-to-back plays. First, shooting the gap in the run game, and then look how quickly again he reads where Kevin Glenn is going with the ball as he dumped it to Jerome Messam. Messam couldn't make the cutback on him.
Shout out to everybody back home.
Wanted to shout out to his brother watching on ESPN3 tonight. Abraham, the defensive backs coach at the University of Hawaii. Good kick into the corner, a 52-yarder by Early. Here comes a good return up across the 30-yard line, a 31-yard return by Alex Tillman. Let's go back to the sidelines here again as Farhan.
Guys, Andrew Harris checking into the game, and after last week's game, Wally Bono said Harris's game was average. Jeff Tedford challenged him to break a few more tackles. You're already seeing him doing that in this game. Harris told me he's still needing to trust himself after the leg injury. He's also got to trust his offensive line, and that hasn't been easy to develop that kind of chemistry with that group. He's used to watching film with them, but under Jeff Tedford, he's not allowed to do that. When the offensive line watches film, Harris is in a special teams meeting. So that's the one thing that's his biggest strength. He knows it. It's an ability to set up and read blocks. That's what he's working on in the early going of the season.
That offensive line with 3 imports, and Jeff Tedford said the running game has to be better, and it has to be everybody being better. They get a 15-yard connection to Brian Burnham and a first down here.
Andrew Harris told me as well, just adding to that he has been trying to hang with those big guys off the field as well. Go out for dinner with them, get to know them a little bit better. He said, man, them offensive linemen are different cats, but I want to hang out with them, get on the same page with them.
First down, pressure on. Lule steps up, got a man open, wide open down the sidelines, and Mora couldn't tightrope it any further.
A little mobility from Lule here buys him some time, because he looked in trouble as he kind of half rolls to his right, and Alex Hall's up in his face in a heartbeat, steps up in the pocket, and then finds Moore on a 36-yarder, and he just tried to stay in bounds.
So the former Seahawk gets it down inside the 25. Harris, left side, got a hole. Well, the big boys open something up there for him off the left side behind the new left tackle, Tommy Draheim.
Draheim and Kirby Fabian going to go tight end, and this is exactly what we're talking about with trust. Go ahead and run it, guys. He's going to go to his left, and a little pull out there. He's got Kirby Fabian with the kick out, puts his hand on the back of Jason Foster. Away they go around the edge.
Cam Thorne as part of that double tight end formation. And the Lions into the red zone for the second time in this opening half. They'll swing it to Burnham, trying to get to the edge, cuts back on Mays, and is upended. Nice play there again by Tyree Hollins.
Tyree Hollins is going to rally here, but Terrell Mays makes the play, because if Burnham gets outside here, it's a sprint for the corner of the end zone. And the first tackler on a wide play like this, just to the right of your screen, the first tackler has got to cut off the runner, get him back inside, cutting back where his friends are, and that's exactly what happens, and Hollins brings him down.
Alex Hall to the sidelines. Terrius George checks in. Part of a three-man front. 2nd and 10. Lule to the end zone, and that's sailed past Brian Burnham, who looks for a flag. And the only flag coming maybe because the Lions were gesturing to toss one. So let's find out. Some of the Lions started to make that gesture, and we've seen that called. What's Tim Croker got?
After the play, objectional conduct. BC number 17. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's Austin Colley. And let's see if Jeff Tedford elects to challenge what initially they thought was pass interference. Here comes the challenge flag. Won a couple of challenges last week. See if he's got a case here.
BC is challenging for defensive pass interference on the play. The play will be reviewed.
Brian Burnham on the inside here, he kind of gestures that he felt like he was interfered with, but it would be an illegal contact call. He wasn't the primary target here, I don't believe. Macho Harris turns there. Well, he was. It was over his head.
Little grab on the jersey from Macho Harris.
But that wasn't the gesture to throw a flag.
Colley was a spectator looking for one. Unless he was interfered with too. Let's take a look at 17, maybe.
17 was clean up top there.
Yeah.
At the very top of your screen. Nothing in the illegal contact area or pass interference there. It's only pass interference when the ball's thrown in your direction, and it was to Burnham. You can see the jersey off his shoulder pad, and that's what Tedford saw. That's what Colley saw, and that's why we have a challenge.
Harris coming off a big rebound game, struggled in the opener, but had a couple of quarterback sacks last week against the Argos.
Remember Brian Burnham last year when he came onto the scene, and I believe it was against the Toronto Argonauts, and I hadn't seen a young receiver go back aggressively to the football like he was. Now, he got hurt in his second game against Calgary, and we didn't see much more of him, but he's got to get that aggressive nature back. Looked impressive.
Especially with Courtney Taylor just about ready to return
After
for
review,
BC.
Pass interference, Saskatchewan number 3. Ball be placed at the 1-yard line. First down.
Boy, Jeff Tedford nailed another challenge, and it will be 1st and goal at the 1.
Yeah, and you know, Jeff Tedford, you saw just in one of those shots, Austin Colley came to the sideline to talk to him, and I think he convinced him.
Although the penalty was called, so let's see how they sort this out. The Colley penalty still has to be factored in.
That's right. Well, pass interference would put it on the 1 because it was a in the end zone foul.
Although Colley's saying, hey, I was right all along, but he gets paid to catch them, not to call them. So the ball's on the 11.
And I love that rule.
On the play, there was objectional conduct against BC 17. That penalty will be applied. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line.
The Lions get the first down, new set of downs on that turnover.
And the ball back where it was, but again, 1st and 10. Can make a first down without scoring. So the 6th play of the drive coming up. Travis Lulay 6-2 in his career against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. 1 touchdown pass last week. Cawley the recipient. Three receivers wide side, looking that way, in behind, and Sean Gore can't reach it. He snuck in behind Tristan Jackson.
Sean Gore runs a beautiful route here, and the ball just thrown a little bit too far. And this is the rust we're talking about, as Gore is going to stem inside, little inside move, and then double move him. Gets in behind coverage and just can't run underneath it.
Lions 0 for 3 in the red zone, 0 for 1 tonight. And that is the first stop by the Roughriders in 9 appearances this year. And they're going to get another stop here as Arsenault is stuffed at the 6. So a problem spot for the Saskatchewan defense has been shored up here. They had allowed 8 touchdowns in 8 score zone appearances by the opposition early in the season.
And they get the second chance here. The Lions do, and the Riders defensively step up and get the stop. You know, that they had to fight that emotional roller coaster a little bit there too on the pass interference challenge.
Terrell Mays with the tackle. Leone out for another short kick. And another field goal for Leone. That's his 4th of the season. All have come inside the 25. 1-point game on a gorgeous night here in Vancouver.
Last week against the Toronto Argonauts, Kevin Glenn, his 8th 400-yard plus passing game at 477, hitting the deep ball. Touchdown throw after touchdown throw. One beauty here to Ryan Smith. Accuracy was there, but for 1 interception. And it was a big one.
A little misdirection in the toss inside to Messam, not going very far. Broken up by Cream Smith. You know, he said that was almost as much fun as that top game he's ever had against the Montreal Alouettes, and there was one in the playoffs that was an overtime thriller. He said the only difference was this one they didn't win, but
he played well enough to win last week.
Enjoyed the shootout, and it was fun to watch. 2nd and 6. Flag down, 3-man rush. Glenn's got some time and now takes off and gets up to the 45, close to the first down. And the indication is offside Saskatchewan.
A lot of discussion after the first 2 weeks.
Okay. Offside. Saskatchewan number 88. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Taj Smith.
A lot of discussion about the increase in penalties, and they have gone up this time last year. Obviously a few more illegal contact as defensive backs try and figure it out, but the biggest increase has been in legal procedure, and that's fixable, and that's not a rule change.
What we like is points are up, offense is up, passing yardage up. Glenn got that away just in time, and Allen is swarmed behind the line of scrimmage as Elamimian and company converge, but again, another flag.
Saying holding, Kevin Glenn indicating holding against the offense.
Holding, Saskatchewan number 6. The penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Rob Bagg draws a penalty that's declined in a punt situation for Corey Chamberlain.
Marco Iannuzzi back there tweaked his hamstring in practice this week, but recovered in time to be ready to play tonight. returners back for BC with special teams. Usually that means that you're setting up a return rather than going after the block. If you're going to go after the block, you take an extra pass rusher or punt rusher and put them on the line of scrimmage. Get 2 back there means Jeff Tedford wants to catch the ball in the air from his returners and set up the return. Remembering that one of the rule changes being that the interior 5 for the Saskatchewan Roughriders can't leave till the ball's kicked.
So Early gets it to punt it away. Tillman with Iannuzzi back. Little bobble. And a short kick. Tillman fields at the 41. That's just a 38-yard boot. And Tillman back to the 47. A flag comes down at the end of the play. We'll sort it out when we come back in this one-point game.
Could be fun.
So we're midway through this second quarter. Lions with the football, trailing by 1. Take a look at the big boys up front. A lot of scrutiny on this offensive line with newcomers Jason Foster at center, Tommy Draheim at left tackle. In fact, Javon Olafioye is the only starter here today who started in the playoff game last November in Montreal. A crosser, and Colley's got the catch. Short yardage there.
Well, the rookie Jason Foster at center is the key. Can he get everybody lined up right, call the stunts up front and the blitzes?
A lot of talk about the tempo offense in BC, and no huddle here on 2nd and 8. Lule, good protection, may take off, and he'll be bumped out short of the first down by Jeff Knox, the newcomer at the weak side linebacker position.
Outstanding coverage from the Riders, because this is well blocked up front, starting with Trevor Harris in the backfield is going to help out here. That offensive line we talked about really did their job. They can look at the film here and say, okay, we got that picked up, got the blitz on the outside picked up. Lule has time to throw. Coverage too tight downfield. He has to pull it down.
Second two and out of the game, and Leone really gets his foot into that one. 58-yard punt to Tristan Jackson. Trying to bring it back, and he's hauled down. Good tackle there by the long snapper, Mike Benson. Good teams work there. A 58-yard punt, and able to contain Jackson on the return. Paul McCallum wearing a different uniform this year. The Lions wanted to go with one kicker who could handle punts, kickoff, place kicking, and Richie Leone just showed you why with the 58-yarder. We were wondering about Mike Benson, the new rule that the interior guys have to delay. He did, and still got downfield to make the tackle. Kevin Glenn with a pass in the flat, and Corey Williams, a former Lion, has a catch up the sidelines and has 9.
As teams get to understand these rules and the rule changes a little bit more, we're seeing quarterbacks throw with great completion percentages, and a lot of this dump down kind of keep the sticks and the chains moving. Completion percentages are up for quarterbacks, and what's going to happen is defense is going to have to be great tacklers in the open field.
Second and 1, and they hand it off to Allen. And a first down for the Roughriders.
Coming into this game tonight, Chris, after 2 weeks, 5 quarterbacks in the league, including Kevin Glenn, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, up over 75%, well, 74.6 for Caleros. That's outstanding completion percentage. but we're seeing a lot more zone defense. So it's the dump down to the backs, those quick screens outside.
Seeing a lot more sustained drives. Hand off on a big hole left side. And Allen crushes across the 30-yard line. And has 4.
Now, having said that, Saskatchewan in 2 games have 5 passing plays over 30 yards, so they have taken their shots down the field. It doesn't mean that the big play is eliminated. That possibility for Jacques Chapdelaine and Kevin Glenn still available, and we saw already a bust in his own coverage from the Lions in the first quarter.
Big plays considered 20-yard runs or more, 30-yard passing plays or more. They had 3 passing plays of 30-plus last week. Glenn and Allen drops the football with Elimimian in the neighborhood and a flag down just a little further upfield.
I think we're going to get those illegal contacts, and this is one of the rule changes.
Legal contact on a receiver, BC number 15. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Lions don't have a 15. We believe it's 25, Ronnie Yell, who was in that vicinity.
Well, it's out down on the sideline. You only get 5 yards to make the jam. There's Ronnie Yell right here. Watch as he backs off outside of that 5-yard zone. 5 yards is done now, and a little hit to the shoulder pads. It's a little contact now.
Well, first down up at the 40. Play action fake, and Glenn in trouble, and he is decked. There's the newcomer, Stephen Clark, in place of Ryan Phillips. And a halfback blitz gets home.
And I think this is Stephen Clark. He sees that Getzlaf has come in to help in the blocking scheme. And he steps up as if he's going to cover Getzlaf, sees that he's going to block, so he just comes free and says, hey, my man's back there blocking. I might as well go and tackle the quarterback.
Joined the Lions late last year. Played in 1 game, and this is second game of 2015, his first start in place of that man, Ryan Phillips. It's just a little bit different seeing him in street clothes, isn't it?
Just, yeah, weird.
And it looks like a time count violation against Saskatchewan.
And how many years did Ryan Phillips have Darian Durant's
violation? Saskatchewan number 5. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Do you think if Durant's not playing, I could take the night off?
I guess that's what it was. Durant in the media this week talking about his surgery, which was last Friday, on his Achilles heel, and I have no doubt in my mind, even though there's always question with an Achilles heel injury, that Darian Durant will be back next year.
After the time count, 2nd and 18. And another flag flies. Early movement, and
procedure. Saskatchewan number 64. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
It's the right tackle, Levi Adcock. And so it'll be 2nd and 23. The offensive line's done a nice job for the Roughriders for the most part early this season.
We've seen these converted before, but this is usually where you take your lumps, dump it down, get what you can, and kick it away.
See what Chapdelaine has in the playbook. Glenn steps up and now throws incomplete behind Messam. And another flag, a late hit.
Michael Brooks, I think from behind, Kevin Glenn gave him a shot after he threw this football.
Major foul, roughing the passer. BC number 90. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Costly penalty.
Trying to plead his case. Let's take a look. And if he has an argument or not, ball thrown. No, that's just a bad decision and a lack of discipline from East Carolina's Michael Brooks.
And you see the frustration of the defensive coordinator, Mark Washington. That allows the offense to stay out there. See how costly that penalty is as Messam able to advance for 9 straight ahead.
Mark Washington has the ability to move Jabbar Westerman inside, put Alex Bazzi in the game at the rush end, or just rotate an interior player. He might want to get Michael Brooks a couple of minutes on the sideline just to regroup. Here on the second play in a row now, he outruns Jerome Messam, has him in the backfield, and runs right past his responsibility.
They were pretty excited about Brooks in his
Well, yeah, he's a good player and a load up front, tough to control, but Mark Washington has that rotation. Let's see if he makes a play here.
Second and less than a yard. See what Glenn does with this. He'll hand it off, and Messam has to surge ahead just to get close to the first down.
There's Alex Bazzi, who came off the edge there, and he did come into the game. Now they left Michael Brooks in.
Might have even lost a foot or two there. It's going to be, well, we're going to get a measurement to find out if it will be third down or not.
Measurements have to be called by the officials now, not the coach's responsibility any longer. Which has picked up the pace of the game a little bit.
And
wow, giving it to
just
him.
enough.
Those are the ones that defensive coordinators can't stand. I mean, both teams had issues with penalties pushing them back, but that illegal or roughing the passer call on Michael Brooks put the defense back on the field.
See, if that football wasn't fully inflated, it might not have been first down.
That was the other league.
That's the other league, yeah. Up close to the 54. Messam releases Glenn over the middle. Flag down as Getzlaff has the catch at the Lion 50-yard line. It would be 6-7, but this one going against Saskatchewan.
Holding. Saskatchewan number 66. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Chris Best draws his second flag of the night, the senior guy on that offensive line, and he doesn't agree. We hit the 3-minute warning in a low-scoring first half at BC Place Stadium.
Rod, the boys back in the studio getting ready, as you can see, for the half here. Not only are they going to talk about the game, but is it really necessary to flag every player who asks for a flag, Milt? That and more. Just a few minutes away as we head back to BC Place. Chris and Glenn.
Yes is my answer.
I think Milt might disagree because he's a receiver and they're usually the guys making the call. Pass is dropped by Getzlaff for the flat. First incompletion for Glenn in the second quarter. And he's now 4 for 5 for only 15 yards in quarter number 2 after a hot start tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure that Milt will say that he thinks that receivers should be able to motion for interference. Hey, I think that's a great rule change. Keep it out. Hey, if you're a receiver and you drop the ball, don't cry to the official for a call.
Are you saying 85 used to cry? Wow, this is going to be a good halftime.
I'm not saying, but I'm just saying.
Another second and long. Glenn underneath. Taj Smith tried to yell up there, and he got some help. Big Hill beat him to the tackle. And the Roughriders will have to punt.
Just a great defensive zone drop from Adam Bighill for a few reasons. He's going to drop here. He shows up like he may be able to come on a blitz just to get in the mindset of Kevin Glenn. Now he drops inside, takes a peek to the receiver to see who's inside him, reads the throw from Glenn, closes to the football, open field tackle on Taj Smith.
Yeah, you always got to shoot it because like the cards, they're coming on us.
Early. Nice boot. 55-yard kick. Tillman on the return. And he is brought down. There's Ainsworth again. He's had a good night on the teams in green and white.
Time on the clock here for Travis Lulay to get some offense rolling here. Again, completion percentage up, but yardage down for 2 quarters.
On a pitch count earlier in camp, and still not throwing as much in advance of the games as he would prior to the injury. What do you think? He looked like the old Travis Lulay?
Yeah, a little bit different in the throwing motion, but I think he is making all the throws. You saw that against Ottawa. Can throw it deep. We've seen him overthrow some receivers.
100 yards away here. Pressure on underneath Harris. And a quick tackle there. And Tyree Hollins has had a good first half for the Roughriders in their secondary.
I don't know the percentage. This seems like a small thing, but Travis Lulay goes the wrong way, or Andrew Harris does, one or the other. And when this happens, it seems like, who cares, right? It was just a play-action fake, so it doesn't really matter. I'd love to know the percentage of plays that aren't successful when that happens. It's a subtle thing in the backfield, but it changes the dynamic of the play.
Because the whole idea is to freeze a defender, isn't it?
Exactly, exactly.
No gain, 2nd and 10. Here comes Heat. Screen Harris. Up to the 15. He has a first down. And into the secondary up to the 32-yard line. That's a big first down for the Lions with 92 seconds to go here in the first half. 22 for number 33.
Love the call. Well executed. Here comes Andrew Harris out of the backfield to the right of Lulay. Big block from Kirby Fabian. He's going to check inside that left guard. Take a look. Make sure his running back's got it. Now 50 on the kickout block.
First down. Pocket collapsing. Lulay underneath. And Harris another catch up near the 40-yard line and has 7.
Let's go back and show you that screenplay. I want to show you left guard Kirby Fabian. Lots of talk about this offensive line. Just to the left of your screen. Here he comes. Big kickout block on Tristan Jackson.
2nd and 3. Quick hitter wide side. Doors got it and nearly snuck away. Tristan Jackson lost his helmet but stayed with the play to bring down Gore.
Coming out of camp, Corey Chamberlain said Tristan Jackson was his best defender. Great training camp, and you know that he still goes back to Fort McMurray in the offseason and works as a laborer on the oil rigs.
Again, we mentioned 100th game. Our congratulations on a guy that did it the hard way. He had to win his job back after being cut. Came right back off the oil sands to do it. Long pass for Colley. Overthrown, incomplete. Hollins on the scene once again. Young kid that Corey Chamberlain told us was a playmaker and always around the football, and he's shown you that so far tonight.
Yeah, but he's still young. I mean, you've got Tyree Hollins back there for Marche Green, and in the middle, Jake Dowdy, and I know a lot of Rider fans after the Toronto game are wondering where those blitzes were. But when you got young players on defense, you call those exotic blitzes, but they might not get it. They might not know it yet.
2nd and 10. Dowdy comes late here. Pass caught by Gore. Came back to the football. Let's check forward progress. It's going to be close to the first down.
There's a great example of the arm strength from Lulay getting better with every throw. That was a dart on a comeback curl to Sean Gore right at the first down marker with a closing Tristan Jackson. He put it right between the 8 and the 5. That's a nice throw, and a throw right where it had to be. Step in, let her rip, and that might be one of the first throws I've seen Lulay just cut it loose. Not a deep throw, but it had to be precise.
Measurement. It is a first down. And give Gore credit for coming back to the football, too.
Yes.
You use the word precise, and you hear that word a lot involving this man's offense and his attention to detail. 7th play of the drive upcoming. There's the matchup of Brown and Arsenault. With 43 seconds on the clock. Harris releases. Lule looks further. Burnham can't hang on. Terrell Mays in his hip pocket.
Intended for Brian Burnham. Terrell Mays on the coverage.
You mentioned that matchup with Manny Arsenault and Weldon Brown. Right now, they've 17 plays where they've matched up against each other and 4 catches for number 84 for 30 yards. So 2 great pros are battling on that short side.
Best against best. 2nd and 10. Harris stays in to block. Lule drops the football. Hot potato. And the Lions get it back. Saving the day was Tommy Draheim, and I had visions of Ottawa last year.
Yeah, so did I. That's exactly what I thought when I first saw him lose the handle. Now, looks like a different scenario. And in Ottawa, when he hurt his arm again, he was trying to throw it, and it fell out of his hands. It was like he threw without the football and hurt his shoulder once again. But you see, at first he tries to scoop it up and try to continue with the play, and then they were in big trouble with losing it altogether.
Draheim saves the day. John Chick had a shot at the football. It is a 20-yard loss. And they'll let the clock drain as far as they can go on what should be the final play of this first half, barring a penalty. Jackson upended at the 33, and we're through 30 minutes of football. A 50-yard punt and a squandered opportunity at the end of the half for Lule on that fumble. 7-6 Saskatchewan halftime as we join Rod Smith and our guys in the panel.
Thank you, Chris. Hi again. Yeah, that could have been worse for the BC Lions right at the end there, but as it stands, just trailing by a point at the half. And back with the panel, Jock Climby, Milt Stiegel, and Chris Schultz. Well, we teased it coming into this. What we really wanted to talk about it, really a penalty that really could have cost the BC Lions the lead so far in this game. They might have had it otherwise, and that was the penalty, Jock, against Austin Collie for that. We've seen a lot of that. I understand the spirit of that penalty and upstaging officials. Okay, well, yes, the floor is yours.
I don't understand it. I don't understand Glenn Suter. I mean, I understand Glenn Suter at the best of times, but I don't understand his position on this. We were going to talk about this before Glenn started talking about it. Glenn couldn't disagree with you more. This is a nonsense rule. CFL, please get this out of the game.
Yes.
Give me a break that making a signal when you have been interfered with or think you've been interfered with is an objectionable conduct penalty. Come on. This happened last night as well in the Ottawa game. Exactly the same thing. A player thinks he's interfered. In this case, it was Ernest Jackson. He thought he was interfered with. He asked for the penalty, makes a motion. Guess what happens? Just like tonight. He asked for the penalty. He gets flagged for objectionable conduct for asking for it. They do a challenge. It turns out it was
a penalty.
Pass interference.
Yes.
So it goes up 10 and you go back 10. Look, this is not a bad motion.
No.
Hey, if you do this, I want a holding call.
Is that right?
That's not a penalty.
What's the signal for pass interference? So maybe guys should just get up and do that. But it's not going to – I can't stand it. I can't stand this. Now, I understand some of the new rules that were implicated this year, the 5-yard rule, the moving back of the field goal. But this one, it has to be taken out. This is an emotional game. When guys have been doing this for years, these guys were young. They saw NFL players do this. They saw CFL players do this. They saw college players do this. So at a young age, they get up and they do it. It's not a big deal. They're not showing up anybody. They're not in the ref's face. It has to be taken out because it's taken away from the game. You see the BC Lions? It could have cost them, it maybe cost them 4 points because they have the ball at the 1-yard line. So this penalty has to be taken out. My lawyer here, Jock Climby, he's going to be the one that does it.
I'm going to rewrite the rule book myself. Just give me a call. I'll do it for free. Pro bono. Take it out.
Jock, you don't do anything for free, Jock. You don't do anything for free.
Well, 2 thoughts here. I think number one is also the receivers trying to indicate that he was interfered with,
yes.
Right? So he's signaling to the coach, and the coach may not have the perfect angle to actually see where the interference is. Because if the coach has an angle that way, I'm grabbing you from behind here. The ref may see it, but the coach doesn't see it. So there's a purpose behind it.
You're letting them know.
So I agree with you on that. But then at the same time, to get back to the emotions, I mean, we had a screen pass with Andrew Harris. He ran 12 yards down the football field, and just out of emotion went that. Fans love to see that stuff.
That emotion.
They love to see that stuff.
Yes.
So I think it's something that should be looked at, and I think it should be.
Because I get the taunting, right? A few years ago, they said taunting out of the game.
Big time.
Because it's demeaning to somebody.
Yes.
It's not demeaning to a ref to do this to him when you think you've been interfered with. Make the change.
You're questioning a call, so maybe that's the issue. But
there's lots of ways to question the call.
But you know what, actually, Jock? I like the taunting. You know, I used to taunt all the time.
Yes,
so I like
you did. You would have got a lot of those penalties.
Yes.
You still in the league.
And Glenn Suter knows that and expect another rebuttal coming up from him. By the way, had BC not had that penalty, the collie, they would have had first and goal from the 1. Had they punched it in, they'd have the lead in this game. As it stands right now, they are trailing, albeit by a point. The Weston Dressler touchdown, standing up for Saskatchewan, 7-6. Paul Appelese in the GMC Coaches Playbook coming up. Good folks at Wendy's earlier tonight, just a few hours ago. Look at the supply they brought in, and look at everybody. Lapo's already there and gone. Jock sneaking up. We see you. Milt, really? Schultze, could you get me one, please, and maybe get another for yourself, and maybe get, I don't know, maybe Jock wants one later on, or maybe Lapo or Schultze. Are they all yours? It's loading up. It's a long night of watching football. And we're well topped up. Thank you to Wendy's. I'm going to get one of those a little later on. Please tell me at least one of them is mine, whether I need it or not. That's a different story. Back now with Paul Appelese of the GMC Coaches Playbook. It's BC trailing at the half 7-6. It looked like it could have been worse after that Weston Dressler touchdown. Now, the Lions defense, which struggled in the fourth quarter last week against Ottawa, though, playing more solidly after that.
Yeah, I really feel the strength of this team to start the season has got to be that defense. A lot of players returning, same coaching staff on defense, so the same schemes. They've got to be the group that leads them. But you start out early. Hey, number 7, you may want to cover him. I thought Glenn did a great job talking about should have had a guy deep, didn't handle that. But then they responded. Okay, you got a 4-1 set here. So look at the backside halfback. If the halfback stays backside, it's probably going to be zone. Quarterback can recognize that they got a zone structure. Here's what they're trying to do. Trying to take the top off the coverage and have a guy in and a guy out. Okay, it's a high-low on the intermediate player. When you see zone structure, watch everybody's eyes. They're all looking at the quarterback. Hoffman Ellis sees it. As he's expanding, he pushes right out underneath the dig. Kevin doesn't see him. Nice turnover here for the BC Lions. This is what they got to do. Got them 3 points early on. But again, this is what this team's meant to do. Watch the tackle trying to pull around. No chance. Adam Bighill runs it down, takes down one of the fastest guys on the team. And then El-Mimian, again, trying to get the ball outside on the perimeter, outside zone plate. No way. Solomon El-Mimian right there for a nice tackle. Hey, this is a great defensive unit. They've held Sask to 50 yards rushing. Kevin Gunn's got a lot of completions, but, you know, he had a 50-yarder, but underneath that, he's only got under 100 yards.
Very quickly, good rule, bad rule. You with Glenn, you with the guys in the panel? Is that taunt?
I'm with Glenn.
You're with Glenn on this?
The Board of Governors want the rule out. Hey,
it's a
they
good
want
penalty.
it out. Take it out.
Well, Saskatchewan, thanks in part to that call, leading the Lions.
Milt.
7-6 at the half. We're at the half at BC Place at Saskatchewan, leading the Lions 7-6. And here is Milt now, the halftime.
Well, it's a low-scoring game, but it's a competitive game. Kevin Glenn has 145 yards passing. 101 of those have gone to Weston Dressler. But they all happen in the first quarter. They have to find a way to get him more involved in the game. Hey, Andrew Harris only has 6 touches. Get him the ball, and you have a chance to win this, BC.
All right, earlier tonight in Winnipeg, True Willie and the Blue Bombers hosting the Alouettes, and young Montreal quarterback Rakeem Cato was so good in his debut last week. Second quarter, and Winnipeg with the first touchdown of the game as Johnny Adams picks off Cato there and waltzes into the end zone. So first big mistake in the young CFL career by Rakeem Cato. It's 12-3 early on Winnipeg. Late first half, there's another big play. Winnipeg with a block punt. Lynn J. Shell got to it. Teague Sherman recovers, and the Bombers lead it at the half. The score is 19-10. Mike O'Shea loves the special teams. Fired up about that. Sherman touchdown. Fourth quarter, Al's mounting a comeback. Terrell Sutton already had a touchdown in this game, and he rumbles in for another one. It is 22-20. The Owls trailing by just 2 after that extra point. Late fourth, Cato trying to cap off the comeback, but his third down throw is deflected away by Chris Randall. Had a great game. Bombers hang on, and they win this one 25-23. That was part 1 of the doubleheader. In part 2, we're halfway through it. It is the hometown BC Lions trailing the Saskatchewan Roughriders 7-6.
It's Friday night football, yeah! Boys are all here, gonna put on a show. Come on!
Tight game in Winnipeg earlier tonight. A one-point game as we get set for the second half here. Right now, down to the sidelines, and here is Farhan Lalji.
Travis, 14 completions in that first half, but it's been tough to finish drives. What can you do differently?
It's the biggest thing, executing the red zone. And there's nothing more to it than that, just finishing drives. Yeah, we did have some good completions, some good protection in the first half, but we got to be more consistent top to bottom and finish drives when we got chances.
That final drive, you put the ball on the ground, and I think everybody kind of held their breath. Looking back to Ottawa, did you kind of approach that any differently, given that you've kind of vowed to be a little smarter in those situations?
Honestly, my first thought was recover the football, and it was like I just couldn't do it. It was slipped out of my hands, slipped when I was picking it up. Fortunately, we fell on it and didn't kill us, half-ended.
Thanks, Travis.
Yep, thanks.
Well, I do agree with Milt Stegall at halftime that they need to get the ball to Andrew Harris a little bit more. Six carries, 3 catches for Harris, but that's about all I agree with when it comes to what Milt and Jock said at halftime.
Why would a DB agree with receivers anyway?
More on that later.
Okay. Going to be an interesting second half. Two teams looking for their first win of the year. First of back-to-back meetings. Lions 0-1, Roughriders 0-2. And now ready to go. Murray Lawrence up over the 30 and cut down at around the 35-yard line. There's a injured Rough Rider on the kick cover team.
Offensively for the Lions in the first half, there's Andrew Harris, 66 yards of offense. To see him get the ball a little bit more. And the matchup between Manny Arsenault and Weldon Brown, he's got 4 catches for 30 yards. Good completion percentage for Lule. Did some good things, like in the Ottawa game. But, like Farhan had him on the sideline said, didn't finish the drives.
And the injured Saskatchewan Roughrider is Levi Steinauer, who grabbed the knee. One of the key Canadian special teamers for the Roughriders.
Levi Steinauer right there, just to the right corner of your screen.
University of Saskatchewan product.
Being blocked while he tries to cut inside and grabs the left knee immediately.
As the early season injuries mount. Veteran Ivan Goodfriend there to work on him, and we will step aside, getting set for the first possession of the second half at BC Place. And good to see Levi Steinauer getting off the field under his own power. The former Husky might not be as serious as it first looked. So the Lions start at their own 34. And a pass into the hands of Arsenault. in that matchup you talked about in the first half against Weldon Brown.
Yeah, well, Weldon Brown has mixed up his coverage technique against Arsenal. He, at times, has been right up on the line because you can only be aggressive and jam inside of 5 yards. So he's done that a couple times. This time, he's going to play off. I mean, he plays off with a little bit of cushion, making it look like a zone coverage. And then on this little hitch, breaks up on the ball to make the tackle.
5 catches, 37 yards, and flags fly before this play gets off.
Procedure, BC number 18. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
That's Cam Moore called.
And we talk about Andrew Harris seeing the ball a little bit more, but in fairness to Jeff Tedford and the play calling right now, I mean, they've got to believe that Harris has the confidence to do the things he used to do. He told both Farhan and I yesterday that he's working on that. When you come off injury, no matter if you're Travis Lulay and it's your shoulder or it's a running back and it's an ankle, you got to get that confidence back. It's a mind game. Who doesn't see it, they're going with the ball elsewhere.
Derek Walker and Matt Webster check into the defense for Alex Hall. And Rory caught him on 2nd and long. And Lulay got it through. And the catch made by Brian Burnham. A little arm strength shown there.
Yeah, he's putting a little torque on it. I think it's actually, from what I saw in the Ottawa game, which was a much more controlled and different throwing motion, making all the throws, but he's thrown in the last part of the first half, and that throw right there with a lot of zip.
Tight window, Brackenridge in the neighborhood, but a 20-yard gain for Burnham, and a first down BC into Roughriders territory. Swing it back out, what a hit. Level, pass incomplete. Shaq Murray Lawrence just got leveled, and that's a way to celebrate your 100th game.
That's when you're working in the oil pit, you get tough. Toughens you up. And Tristan Jackson times it up, steps up, lowers his shoulder, great shot.
3.8 on the Richter scale.
Rocked.
Second and 10. Lulay stands in, throws, and it's caught. The receiver slipped, but Burnham stuck with it and makes the catch, and that's a big second down conversion.
Ball placement improving by the throw. And he threw to the spot and wanted Burnham to sit down
Major
there.
foul, roughing the passer, Saskatchewan number 93. 15 yards added to the end of the play.
They'll tack this
First
on.
down.
Tay George, who's had a quiet start to this season.
First of all, Lulay's throwing to a spot. That's why Burnham slipped, because he was trying to get to that spot. He slips down, and that's the spot he wanted him in. Tristan Jackson was high. Now you're going to see George. Let's take a look at what he does. Good push up front. Oh, head to the chin.
So third visit to the red zone for the Lions. 0 for 2 tonight, 0 for 4 on the year. Brackenridge, delayed blitz, but the pass is off and complete, and Brian Burnham's got another catch. Holland's on the tackle.
Now, this was successful for BC, but I have a question here. There's Burnham. He's going to catch it. Go ahead and run it. And let's take a look at this, because you want to spread the field. Hold it there. 1, 2 BC receivers covered by one player. Now, that means to me that one of those two guys ran the wrong route. Now, it works for BC. They get the completion.
Third consecutive catch for Brian Burnham. 5 for 63 on the night. Second and short, and Harris pushes the pile and has a first down inside the 5. Said he had to be in better game shape, but also had to see the game better. I found that interesting. Thought he missed a couple of holes last week just because he wasn't seeing it well enough or quickly enough. First and goal from the 4. Moore in motion along with Burnham. And it's A broken tackle by Harris and then taken down by Jeff Knox. Saving a touchdown. Knox, a former running back. In fact, a running back till his senior year in college.
Looking at Cam Mora here and wondering if he had the block. Mora's right here coming up. And you're going to see Terrell May shoot the gap right by him. And he's the one who causes the problem for Andrew Harris initially.
7th tackle of the night for Jeff Knox Jr. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania native. 2nd and goal. Short drop and incomplete. Colley couldn't bring it down, and Tristan Jackson did enough to disrupt it.
Timing excellent from Tristan Jackson. It looked like Colley, Austin Colley, may have caught this on the 2nd try. A slant route underneath with that bunch formation, and the timing excellent just to disrupt it enough. And Colley can't pull it in.
Jeff Tedford taking a long look at the screen. Challenged earlier. Doesn't look like he'll challenge that.
I think the timing was bang on there from Tristan Jackson.
You see Travis Lulay wanting another look. But good defense, and it's yet another short field goal for Leone. That's his 3rd from 12 yards or under early this season. But the Lions have taken the lead early here in the 3rd quarter.
Take a look at the offensive leaders for the Riders in the first half. Kevin Glenn, almost 90% completion percentage, had the 1 interception to Alex Hoffman-Ellis. Anthony Allen with 36 yards rushing. In that first quarter, Dressler had the 101 yards in the first quarter.
And only 23 passing yards for Glenn in the 2nd quarter. Beginning at the 35, down by 2. And Dressler with his 6th catch, and up at the 40 has 5.
Sometimes it's a simple game. You know, you go that first quarter, Dressler has 101 yards, and Jacques Chapdelaine probably went in at halftime and thought, wait a minute, it was working very well in the first quarter. We went away from it in the 2nd quarter. Let's go back to number 7. Start feeding him the rock a little bit more.
Corey Williams in the offense. Taj Smith, Rob Bagg are the wideouts, and now Williams bubbles out to the near side. 2nd and 5. Glenn has time and overthrows. Corey Williams on the crosser.
Might have had some running room too. Almost looked like Kevin Glenn aimed it to him rather than just step back and let him have it, or he may be describing a lane that he did not have there to get it to him. It was Kareem Smith. Kareem Smith flashed right in front of him in the last second, and Glenn had to throw it over him, and that's why he missed Williams.
4th straight punt for the Roughriders. And a blast by Early. 51 yards. Tillman on the return. And he'll get tackled at the 28-yard line. Anthony Allen in on the tackle. So 6 minutes into the 3rd quarter here in Vancouver. The home side has a 2-point lead. Our sack tally is brought to you by Purolator, tackling hunger, a promise we can all help deliver.
Macho Harris came into this game for the Saskatchewan Roughriders with a couple, just one tonight. The newcomer for the BC Lions, Stephen Clark.
That's the only sack so far. Lion football, 1st and 10. Andrew Harris. And Harris is pushed back after forward progress. Looked like a pickup of about 5 against a defense that's been stouter tonight than the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, there was all kinds of talk about, especially overtime, and Greg Quick and Corey Chamberlain's defense last week against Toronto. Didn't get the stop they needed late in the game, and then gave up 14 points in overtime, and they've allowed 221 net yards, but have held BC to 3 field goals.
2nd and 5, and another big hit. Teeth rattler from Tyrone Brackenridge.
This is the other part of the concern for defensive backs in the new rules not being able to be physical. Well, in zone defense, watch the right of your screen. You can be physical. It's just a different type of physical.
So it's not touch football.
No, it's not touch football. Not close. Ask Austin Collie if it's touch football.
3rd and a yard and the punt team on. Leone skies it. That almost hit the scoreboard here. Not as deep. And likely a 15-yard, no yards. As Jackson's brought down, Chris Rabakamba on the tackle.
There's a flag.
Yeah, it's not touch football. Tyrone Brackenridge with one of the hits of the night as he unloads on Austin Collie. No yards against the Lions. Ball at the 47. Let's check in with Farhan.
Guys, I had a chance to talk to Kevin Glenn about the Lions passing on him after last season. They at no point considered bringing him back. He never really looked comfortable in orange, and I asked him what the big difference is here. And he talked about the offensive line that is so good in Saskatchewan. He admitted last year that internal clock that a quarterback gets was getting a lot faster in BC, but it's been much more comfortable for him here. He also talked about Jacques Chapdelaine's system, and the offensive coordinator told me that in the offseason they didn't plan on what modifications would happen to the offense if Darian Durant got hurt, and he told Glenn, we don't want you to win the game for us. We just want you to decide who wins, and they've fully taken advantage of his strengths in terms of getting the ball out early.
Also mentioned it was the first time he's ever been a free agent, so he had a choice maybe where to go.
Yeah.
Asked his 6-year-old son Caleb, what do you think? He said Roughriders. Messam straight ahead. In fact, Caleb's disappointed he's watching tonight. He likes the home games at Mosaic.
Yeah, because he loves the castle where you can go in and run with the football. But found it interesting that when Kevin Glenn was wearing an orange jersey, Caleb was a Rough Rider fan and said, when Dad asked the son, what do you think? He had some choices. What do you think I should do? Caleb said, Rough Riders, Dad.
Glenn was 8-9 last year. He has 89 wins, looking for number 90 against his old team here tonight. 2nd and short. Anthony Allen crashing across midfield and has a first down. Wrapped up at the bottom of the pile by Michael Brooks.
This week in Saskatchewan on CJME on our radio station, we talked to Weston Dressler, and Dressler said that he was surprised working with Kevin Glenn in training camp just how good he really was and how much of a timing passer he is. He said, you know, we talked as receivers and thought, how is Kevin Glenn not a perennial starter in this league? Now, some will say about the big game. I know that's hanging over his head. But boy, Dressler was impressed in camp.
173rd career game start for Glenn. Messam motoring down the sidelines. One man to beat. And he's bumped out at the 10. Biggest run of the night for the former Lion, Jerome Messam. Rumps 41.
Well, big in a couple of ways because they're running right at one of the best linebackers in the game in Adam Bighill. He's going to get up in the line right at the point of attack, and Xavier Fulton's going to kick him right out of there. That opens up a gaping hole for Jerome Messam, and now it's DB's worst nightmare. Jerome Messam at 245, chugging down the field, and you're just saying, get close to the sideline so I can push him out. What a block by Xavier Fulton. Look at that, maintaining that contact on Adam Bighill.
Taj Smith, the injured Saskatchewan Rough Rider. Talked to Westerman yesterday, a former high school teammate of Jerome Messam's, and he said he just felt Messam played harder against his old teams, and that's a satisfying run for Messam against his old Lions teammates here.
Well, I'm seeing a different Jerome Messam this year. I mean, this is a guy who's getting back to that Edmonton year where he had 1,000 yards. I mean, 245 with that kind of breakaway speed at the point of attack. That's tough to find. I mean, you just can't find a guy with that kind of size and power that combines it with speed. He's got 4 for 59 rushing after that big one, and has caught a couple passes as well for 10 yards. So numbers aren't jumping off the page, Chris, but he's capable of doing that in a heartbeat.
Best year was in Edmonton, 2011, 1,057 yards. First trip to the red zone for the Roughriders tonight. Glenn takes a look into the end zone and knocked away. Intended for Corey Williams, and Roddy Yell manning the corner.
Corey Williams at the end of this play almost motioned to the officials that he wanted a penalty flag. Almost. Glenn has a throwing lane. Both allowed a right to the football and both to play. You see that little subtle one? A little Milt Jock move there at the end.
2nd and 10. Glenn again, open, Dressler, touchdown.
There's the spot throw.
Weston Dressler double dips his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Roughriders reclaim the lead.
That's what I'm talking about when it comes to Kevin Glenn and timing and the spot throw. 1, 2, 3 step back, launch it, spot throw to Dressler outside of Adam Bighill in the zone drop from the linebacker. Great recognition from Glenn, and the ball is on time and on target.
And the lineup for 2. Trying to make it a 6-point lead. 4 receivers wide side. Glenn looks the other way for Dressler. Got it. In front of Yell for the 2 points.
Clearly the discussion at halftime in the Riders locker room was about number 7 and getting him involved. They forgot about him in the 2nd quarter. That's called a bang move. Come inside, peel back out, pull the DB inside, 2-point convert, successful.
Only had 1 touchdown last year. Got 2 tonight. And a good response by the Roughriders after surrendering the lead.
This is the touchdown, and let me show you Dressler here. First of all, he's going to bend in here and then just kind of fade out, and watch how you're going to get the look off from Kevin Glenn. Kevin Glenn's going to look at Adam Bighill and freeze him in the middle. As you go here, stop it here. Now, this is where Glenn's going to look, right down in this area. You're going to see Adam Bighill move into the middle just long enough to open up a hole for Dressler. Go ahead, run, and he sits, slides out away from Bighill. That's throwing it right on the spot in the zone defense.
5-play drive, 63 yards. The big play, Messham's 41-yard run, but a Dressler catch for a touchdown and a 2-point convert. Marco Iannuzzi on the return for BC. And he works his way up over the 35-yard line, knocks on the tackle. And now Travis Lulay will try to respond.
Lions take over, first down.
Same issue as last week, though, for the Lions, and they haven't been able to finish. And that got them in trouble in Ottawa.
Yeah, they had the lead going into the 4th quarter, lost it in the 4th, lost the game.
Starting at the 36. Extra men in to block. Pass is caught. There's Austin Culley with the catch across midfield. Relatively quiet tonight after a good debut in Ottawa.
Get 3 receivers out to the wide side of the field. 2 curls inside, and then the wideout stays on the sideline trying to stretch the defensive back and completely use the entire width of the field to spread them out.
Interesting piece by Farhad Lalji this week. Coach Jeff Tedford said he got a call from his old Hamilton teammate. And Austin Austin Cauley's dad, Scott Cauley, kind of encourage him to take another look at Austin, and it's been a big signing. Whoa, there's Brackenridge again on the big man, Cam Mora, who's 250 pounds, but the big tree was leveled by the 190-pound Brackenridge.
Coming downhill, Brackenridge right at the top middle of your screen. A rock against a rock. So, hold on.
That blue-collar attitude's returning to the Roughriders defense.
I keep hearing about the fact that DBs can't be physical. I keep hearing that. We've seen physical.
Looked like Moore was smiling. All he's hearing is a little ringing in his ears right now. Into the flat, Gore the catch. Weldon Brown wrestles him down.
Yeah, and let's give Moore a bunch of credit there, too. Yep. He hung on to the football. He took it. He knew he was going to get hit hard by Tyron Brackenridge. And Brackenridge, you don't have to watch much film as a new player to the CFL on Brackenridge to see a few hits like that. I mean, you could put one quarter on and you'll see at least one or two.
Thought he showed some lack of timing last week, missed all of camp and the first week. Looks like his timing's back.
Yeah, good point. Playing tighter, too.
2nd and 6. Fake inside, and now a shot behind Mora. And a flag comes down as Sean Gore was also in the vicinity, and he got taken down by Hollins.
I'm not sure that this wasn't an accident, but it was contact for sure on Sean Gore.
No, they're going to call it the other way on Gore. And Corey Chamberlain gets the options, and he's going to push him back.
I was going to say there was contact, but I couldn't tell if it was a pick.
Offensive pass interference.
Clearly.
BC number 85. 10-yard penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Looked like he wanted to take the penalty, but it's 10 yards, and he's not going to give them another down.
That's the route right there. And Gore's on the outside, and I saw the contact. What I didn't see is who initiated it, and you could see
right.
Hollins was just running to get to the spot, and Gore cut him off. That's basically a pick. And the right call by the official.
Corey Chamberlain looked like he was going to take the penalty. He has elected to decline, which means it's a 42-yard field goal attempt, the longest by Leone so far. No problem. They get 3, they're within 3. 15-12. So a decent drive for Jeff Tedford, but again, it stalls. They settle for 3 more. 4 field goals tonight.
Red zone offense, and you know, the Lions yesterday in what is normally a walkthrough practice actually were on the field a lot longer, and they were practicing at length in the short week. And the focus at that practice that we got a chance to watch was all short red zone or coming out of your own end, and they're 0 for 3 in the red zone tonight.
Their warm-up tonight was a little extended, looked a bit like a practice too. Roughriders back on offense. Glenn in some trouble, gets it away, and Jamal Richardson has his first catch and some running room into BC territory.
But I tell you what, Chris, if you're a receiver, you're going to see Rob Bagg make a throw in a desperate, almost panic situation from Glenn to Jamel Richardson, turn into a big play for Saskatchewan because Rob Bagg is going to get a block. And he's not the target here, but Rob Bagg turns around, picks up his man, doesn't let Cord Parks get out there to make the tackle. 31-yard gain because receiver blocked for his teammate.
Richardson 3 catches short of 600 in his career. Ty Smith, who was shaken up earlier, has the catch brought down by the defensive end, the 36-year-old Kareem Smith.
Now Richardson took his turn with a block again on Cord Parks on that last play. Jamel Richardson saw Rob Bagg do it for him. 31-yard gain. Now watch 14. Knows the play is going out there to Tosh Smith, and he picks up Court Parks.
Second and short yardage. Hand off Allen. No, a fake to Allen. It's Spencer Moore with the catch and a first down. Second catch for Moore, and the McMaster product moves the chains.
Remember when Travis Lulay turned around and Andrew Harris and him were on the wrong page? Well, this is how sweet it can look when the execution is right. Play action, great play fake, holds Adam Bighill, pulls up the defense, gets the ball out there, outflanking the linebackers, and first down.
I bet. Final play, third quarter, barring a penalty. Back in the hands of Messam. Down to the 21. 5 more for big number 33. Interesting third quarter and an interesting fourth quarter ahead. Weston Dressler has a pair of touchdowns. Some heavy hits in that Roughriders secondary. Saskatchewan has the lead by 3 as we head home here in Vancouver. Three-point game after 3 quarters. There are the numbers. Mr. Suter, you have the floor.
Well, come on, Jock and Milt with this gesturing for receivers to the officials. It does show up the official. We got to get it out of the game. There's a mechanism in place if the official misses the call for the coach to challenge that call. And by the way, why doesn't a receiver just get open and not get a potential call? For the receiver that doesn't get open and is crying about this, here's a little tissue for Jock and Milt, and they could just, a little tears after, ref, I didn't get open, ref. I didn't get open.
The DB gets the final word, although it might not be the final word somehow. If we go to overtime tonight, maybe we can go back to the panel. Here we go, fourth quarter, 2nd and 4. Glenn looks a couple of ways. He's flushed. And now throws it away, and they're going to call Josh Johnson. Extra hit on the quarterback, and Lions have been called twice to extend Rough Rider drives, and that's going to drive Jeff Tedford crazy.
It is, and discipline or lack thereof, poor decisions after the play.
Major foul, roughing the passer, BC number 23. Half a distance to the goal. First down.
You have to make an effort to avoid contact when the quarterback releases the football. That one was closer than the hit from Michael Brooks from behind, but still you can tell by that look from Jeff Tedford just how frustrating it is to watch the players make bad decisions.
First down at the 10. Handed off to Tosh Smith, and Smith outside and is dropped at the 2. Elimimian got there to prevent the touchdown, but it's 2nd and goal from the 2.
245 tailback Jerome Messam is going to step up and create a hole. I'm watching some great blocking from the skilled players here, whether it's Rob Bagg for Jamel Richardson. Watch this block by Jerome Messam. He steps up here and seals the edge for Tosh Smith. Now he's got the corner, get out and around. He's created a pile, so even Solomon Elimimian has to run around the pile Messam created.
Josh Johnson got caught up there as well. The man who extended this drive looked like BC was offside. Flags down as Allen gets stopped, but they're going to get another play out of this.
Yeah, it looked like off the edge, one of the Lion defenders was creeping
Outside,
into the neutral
BC
zone.
number 23.
And it was
Half
Johnson.
The goal.
He's desperate to make amends, but he clearly was in that 1-yard restraining area.
Remember when Michael Brooks got the late hit on the quarterback, then went and had a bad play 2 plays later? Well, now it's Josh Johnson's turn. Creeps into that neutral zone. We could see it from here before the snap of the ball. That's offsides.
Now the short yardage team comes in. Brett Smith into the offense, and Josh Johnson off the field for Jeff Tedford. So the big boys will hunker down. 1st and goal from the 1. That's Rob Bagg in motion. Smith goes the other way. Touchdown. Penalty-aided touchdown drive for the Roughriders.
Yeah, good drive for Saskatchewan offensively, but Josh Johnson on the bench for this touchdown because of a couple of mistakes, one of which added 4 points to this drive for the Riders because the BC defense was off the field, if not for the offsides on second and from the 1-yard line because they stuffed them. The Lions stuffed the Riders on the play. Josh Johnson's offside gives them another chance. Extra 4 on the board.
8 plays, 75 yards. And Brett Smith into the end zone. McCallum, point after, down the middle. As the Roughriders make it a 2-score lead on the road against the BC Lions. Just shy of the 2-minute mark, fourth quarter. Last 2 possessions for the Roughriders. They have scored touchdowns to answer BC field goals. Had a 10-point lead going to the fourth quarter last week. 10-point lead now. Shaq Murray-Lawrence up to the 35. 8 plays, 75 yards on that last touchdown.
Yeah, I was going to say we can't take anything away from what was a good drive from Kevin Glenn and some blocking downfield from some skilled players. I mean, play action well executed there. Tosh Smith, a good block from Jerome Messam. And then Josh Johnson, a couple penalties. Couldn't get their defense off the field because of the second penalty, the offsides, and that gave the Riders that second chance.
I've got a couple of shout-out requests. One, Mill Stiegel. That one touchdown was for you. You told me to give you a shout-out. I gave you a shout-out. What's up, everybody back home in Detroit? Awesome.
Here's a big one for Colley, and it's broken up by Hollins. Just got a hand on it when it looked like Colley had a stride.
Yeah, Hollins just plays the receiver, Austin Colley here. He's in the trail position on this corner route. I don't think he ever goes back and looks at the football in the air. He just waits for Colley to stick his hands up and then shoots that right hand.
Kid out of Grambling's been active tonight. Sets up 2nd and 10. Pocket collapses. A little dump pass to Harris, and he is dropped at the 40 and will be short of the first down. The tackle made by Mays. 2 and out for BC.
Andrew Harris, I'm trying to see what is the difference. We talked about the trust for Harris. And just, when he was back in his big year, where he was the leader in yards from scrimmage, when he made that cut, it was a cut that he was still moving forward. Now it looks like he's chopping his feet and making those cuts going laterally.
Leone kicking to Tristan Jackson, a 45-yard punt. They'll call no yards once again. And that will improve the field position. Lumbala getting involved. What a night for number 7, Weston Dressler. Into the end zone twice, and a 2-point convert as well.
BC.
And it's 22-12, Saskatchewan. Long snapper Mike Benson getting helped off. Let's check in on the injuries with Farhan.
Yeah, Benson appears to have an ankle injury, and his replacement is Adam Bighill as far as the long snappers go, so a little more work for him. Other injuries in this game, Levi Steinauer for Saskatchewan in the third quarter suffered a knee injury. Not as serious as we first thought, but serious enough to keep him out of the rest of this game. And in the first quarter, Jason Araki with a left hamstring injury is out. They don't believe it's a tear, just a pull, but again, done for the night.
Thank you, Farhan. A couple of key special team guys. Good catch there by Dressler. Do you think Ryan Smith got his attention? Well, he's got to play out of Ryan Smith's shadow, and he has tonight.
And he stepped up with Ryan Smith out of the lineup tonight. And when you're hot and on a roll and in that groove and you're seeing it, just happens. Wow. Just he pulled that up off the turf just before it gets there. One hand, casual, no problem.
That might be a highlight of the night candidate. 3-yard pickup, 2nd and 7, and Richardson can't bring that one down. Lions needed a stop. They get one here.
That was in behind that throw. He was trying to get to it. Was Adam Bighill. He got deep in coverage, number 44. He drops right from the linebacking core to become a deep player in the zone and tried to get there for that interception.
Early the punt, short punt, and the return to the 35-yard line for Tillman. And Travis Lulane generated 4 scoring drives for field goals, has to finish one tonight.
Well, I noticed the difference in his throwing motion. Let's go back to 2011. I want you to look at the elbow and where it is exactly. His elbow's up high. Take a look now at 2015. A different throwing motion. Watch where the elbow is. Down a little bit lower here. The target and the release point up over his head in 2011. Just beside his ear hole in 2015. He's changing his throwing motion, but can make all the throws necessary.
Had a couple of deep shots tonight, was looking downfield here, in trouble, and throws it away at the bench. There is a flag in the area where Weldon Brown was dueling with Manny Arsenault.
You know, and I bring up the change because it's him trying to evolve and figure out exactly with that shoulder issue how he's going to get to that 2011 All-Star status again.
Illegal contact on a receiver, Saskatchewan 35. 10-yard penalty, first down.
But there was a little glimpse of 2011. He avoids the sack and makes a play and gets a penalty out of it.
This is the matchup we talked about early on. And Weldon Brown has done a nice job, but there's the contact past 5 yards.
In the flat, and Arsenault slipped out of the break. Another flag. Mays was watching Burnham in a traffic jam, and I think Brian Burnham's going to get called for the pick.
Legal interference blocking downfield, BC number 16. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So the Lions have drawn that penalty twice tonight. Past the 5-minute mark of this 4th quarter, 1st and 20. Screen. Andrew Harris has some blocking. Brackenridge missed the tackle, and Harris all the way across midfield for a first down.
In that last break, when the Lions defense was on the field, Andrew Harris went to Jeff Tedford, the head coach, and he talked to him. Tedford took the ear set off, and I'm not so sure he didn't just go to say, hey, you know that screen play we ran in the first half? Let's go back to it.
23 yards to the Rider 50. There's a completion. Colley close to another first down.
Mentioned that throwing motion. You know, Lulay is going to have a little bit of rust on him, and it's going to take some time, and that's where the consistency kind of changes. He has shown that he can make every throw. That one where he extended the play on the illegal contact, he was on his way down, throwing in a very awkward position. No ill effect on the shoulder. All good news, and he's at 277. Now, can he finish a drive?
2nd and short, and Harris breaks away. Oh, we're talking about guys showing old form, and Andrew Harris on this drive is back in his old form. 14.
Yeah, it's the moves that he has. Great moves in the open field. I mean, that's what he's... Two things. One is those great moves in the open field and the versatility. But the move on right here is forward. A little shake, but as he's moving forward, not stopping his momentum and making that shake in the hole.
37 yards on his last 2 touches, so he's feeling it. Lule underneath. Harris got it again. Another first down. And stopped at the 15. Jeff knocks the tackle. But Andrew Harris has the Lions back in the red zone.
2012, he was the first Canadian since Terry Evanston back in 1967 to lead the CFL in yards from scrimmage. This is what he's capable of. And it may have taken a game and a half, but it looks like he's back.
Back in the score zone, back in the hands of Harris. Shakes a tackle. Another good run off the right side. And he's down to the 7 before Doughty able to wrestle him down. 7 for Harris on that carry.
And every throw from Travis Lule looks a little bit stronger. We've seen him throw some darts. You go back to that 2011 season, he was just shy of 5,000 yards, 32 TDs, outstanding player in the CFL and the Grey Cup MVP. That's what Lions fans want to see out of 14, and he's getting there. He's chipping away, he's getting closer.
They also want to see a red zone score. 0 for 5 on the year. 4th trip tonight. Second and 3. A little fake. Dumped off. Rolling Labella. Touchdown.
It's the Andrew Harris drive. And the touchdown, their first in the red zone tonight, is successful because of the established run and presence of Andrew Harris. It draws the defense to 33, and Roy Lambala scores because of it.
His first receiving touchdown since his rookie year in 2008. And his first touchdown in more than 2 years. There's the extra point that's wide, so they have to settle for 6. And that's a huge point, because it remains a 4-point Rough Rider lead. So more than a field goal, a costly miss. How about the drive and performance of Andrew Harris on the scoring march as BC gets a little closer. 4-point game. Play 74 yards. The veteran fullback Lambala caps it. 4-point lead after the missed convert. Tristan Jackson on the return. And a good one up close to the 40-yard line before he takes a jolt from Pascal Louchard.
8-play drive for the BC Lions. 74 yards in total, 55 of the 74. Andrew Harris. It was the Andrew Harris drive, and because they established him through the air and running the football, when they went to play action, the entire Rider defense went to 33, and Lambala scores on the quick throw inside.
Riders have responded to the last scoring drives of BC. Good run by Messam. Let's check in on the Lions sidelines with Farhan.
Yeah, Glenn was right earlier when he suggested that Andrew Harris was having a conversation with Jeff Tedford about possibly getting him the ball a little more. I asked him what he said and whether it was give me the ball, and he said, yeah, it was in a nice way, but he did talk to him not about any specific plays, but just about mixing it up, because he felt they needed to do that and get him involved at this stage because of how heavily Saskatchewan was keying on other factors in BC's offense.
That was the discussion, and boy, Jeff Tedford was listening. Got it to 33. They got it in the end zone.
2nd and 1 for the Rough Riders. And the handoff straight ahead. Allen with authority has a first down close to midfield.
And the rule change, of course, the extra point pushed back, so it's not automatic coming in after 2 weeks, coming into this week's action.
I like that rule change.
83.3% for the single. 25 of 30 were the kickers, so there were a few missed. And how big could that point be?
Mark Washington trying to design a stop. Again, previous 2 scoring drives by BC were answered with touchdowns by the Roughriders. Kevin Glenn, pressure sent, going to take a shot. Jamel Richardson got it! And the veteran is dropped at the 10, but he beats Ronnie Yell with a huge play. 46 for Jamel Richardson. And now 2 shy of 600 in his illustrious career.
Boy, starts up front because Glenn is able to step up. He gets a block on the blitz, throws it up for Richardson, who has the height advantage outside on Ronnie Yell. Yell is 5'10". Richardson at 6'3". He takes advantage of it.
First and goal at the 10. Corey Williams back in. Glenn into the corner for Williams. Incomplete. TJ Lee in coverage. Late flag. Holding call against the Roughriders. And will Jeff Tedford march the back?
Saskatchewan number 57. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
They'll take it back 10. First and goal from the 20. Let's see what Jacques Chapdelaine has, and if Elimimian and company have the answer. Time underneath Messam, and he's dropped down at the 11, got close to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be second and goal.
Timeout, BC.
That's how important it is, and BC's got to get the timeout before the 3-minute warning. They need to stop desperately right now. The throw to Richardson. Mark Washington,
he's going through all the signals right now.
He went with pressure on that one. It was picked up in the backfield. Blitz was blocked up. Richardson came down with it. See what he's got dialed up here.
Well, this might be a ball game. If the Roughriders can cash in, second and goal. Glenn running out of time. End zone touchdown. Weston Dressler, but flag on the play, and it's going against Saskatchewan. Dressler's 3rd touchdown of the night has been taken
Illegal
off.
block, hands to the face, Saskatchewan number 57. 10-yard penalty, second down.
And it's Brendan Labatt.
Take a look. Brendan Labatt inside. I don't think there's any question. Steps outside. Now he goes up and Kareem Smith. Hand to the chin, up in the face mask area of Kareem Smith, and he continues with it. If he makes contact and pulls it down, he might have got away with it, but not that long.
To the final play before the 3-minute warning. Second down over. And they need 20 for the touchdown. Glenn in trouble. And flags fly as he's brought down at the 30. Holding or face mask? What's the call this time from Tim Croker? And there's another flag in the vicinity of illegal contact.
Illegal contact on the receiver, BC number 6. Illegal holding, Saskatchewan number 57. It'll be second down repeated.
Tough series for Brendan Labatt, but they'll get another down here.
And they get down over in the offsetting penalties, and Brendan Labatt gets bailed out because a Lion DB had the illegal contact. Back-to-back penalties for Brendan Labatt. He's having some issues with Kareem Smith.
The drama builds here. The 3-minute warning's been given to the benches. A 4-point Rough Rider lead. Second and 20 again. Glenn fires wide side. Another flag as Ty Smith has the catch at the 10. What do we have this time? Just the 4th straight play with a flag?
Illegal contact on a receiver, BC number 23. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Josh Johnson's number called again. Move it back up 10.
He was covering Weston Dressler. Let's take a look. There's Dressler there. Josh Johnson's had some penalty issues. No, that's not Josh Johnson's number. That's Stephen Clark. Clearly contact, not letting Dressler come back. He wasn't the target, so it's illegal contact, not pass interference.
Those numbers mounting. They'll hand it off. And it's Anthony Allen, touchdown! A 10-yard touchdown run as he caps the drive, and there are no flags.
It's going to be a tough night for the Lion defense when they look back at opportunities missed, a chance to get off the field a couple times in their own end. Penalties gave the Riders another chance. When they got that second chance, they took advantage both times. First it was Josh Johnson, and that time Stephen Clark.
Roughriders perfect in the red zone tonight, 3 for 3. Answer another Lion scoring drive with another touchdown. McCallum adds the extra point. An 11-point lead with 2:21 to go.
Well, I tell you what, that touchdown by Anthony Allen, his center, Dan Clark, is going to get a hook block here and then go to the second level and help out on Solomon Elamimian, who's trying to scrape to. Watch 67. He's going to step up here. He gets that one. Now he goes out and he gets both Big Hill and Solomon Elamimian. Kicks them out as well.
That's a bonus when you take out Team 100 in one block.
And chipped on an inside defensive tackle to get things started.
Well, again, penalty aided. Kevin Glenn and the Roughriders have shown some finish tonight. Shaq Murray-Lawrence. And the cover team brings him down at the 30. Dylan Ainsworth's been busy in that department tonight, comes up celebrating, and Travis Lulay's got to get something done in a hurry now. A couple yards shy of his 16th career 300-yard game. 75% on the night. On a roll, throws to the outside. Arsenault catches it and gets drilled out of bounds.
Lulay completes to 84.
Jackson and Hollins on the scene.
After a gain.
And Tristan Jackson slow to get up. So there'll have to be an adjustment in that Rough Rider secondary.
Yeah, he's played well out there too. I mean, you're one drive where Tristan Jackson, 2 plays, one on Austin Collie in the end zone. He couldn't come up with a touchdown catch because of the play of Tristan Jackson. You know, he lowered his chin and lowered his head. You tackle with your eyes, kids. When you make a tackle, keep your head up and bow your neck. Don't drop your chin like that. It's as dangerous for the tackler as it is for the guy being hit.
Michael Carter checks into the game. And Tristan Jackson gets escorted across the field to the Riders bench.
He's got to take some shots down the field and see if he can A, get the completion, B, a possible penalty flag. We've seen a few of them tonight.
Only lost 2 games here at BC Place Stadium. Travis Lulay.
One was against Glenn in the playoff game in the West Final.
And Kevin Glenn trying to do it again here. Last year the Roughriders won here. It was guaranteed win night. There was no guarantee here tonight. BC answered with a victory at Mosaic. And they'll do it again next week in Regina. 2nd and 3. Carter on the corner. Lulay on a roll near side. First down catch by Gore up at the 48-yard line. Neme Kenkalungo with the tackle after an 11-yard Gore pickup. Rory Conup checks back in at defensive tackle. Ryan Burnham in motion. Lulay throws and incomplete. Flag comes down. Might have been a face mask on the intended target Arsenault on the quick close from Weldon Brown.
Yeah, I thought the play it looked clean unless he did catch his face mask. You see there was no early contact, but it was the grab of the face mask.
Major foul, face mask, Saskatchewan, number 35. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, it's been his job tonight to try and lock down the most dangerous receiving weapon, Manny Arsenault. And for the most part, Weldon Brown.
Well, he's only got 6 for 45 yards, Arsenault.
So the damage has been limited. The Lions are moving it. Still time. Taking a shot for Colley, and he comes back to it. He's got it, and Tip goes in. What a touchdown, Austin Colley.
Like a back shoulder throw here from Lulay. Said he's got to take some shots. See if he can either hit that completion or draw a penalty. Athletic play, great body control from Austin Colley.
Beating the veteran Terrell Mays.
Early in his career, Colley, the go-to guy for a while there for Peyton Manning.
5th catch, 82 yards, and his 2nd touchdown of the season. 5-point lead. Jeff Tedford goes for 2 to try and get within a field goal. Arsenault to the near side. Lulay looks the other way. He wants Colley again. Got him.
What a route.
We're into no lead is safe territory. 98 seconds to go.
Great route from Austin Colley, who shortens up his split in this bunch formation. And Colley, watch the route running from 17 here. You see how he's right on the hash mark, giving himself a lot of room up here to get to that spot. Little turn like he's running the curl, spins out of it. Little air under that ball from Travis Lulay in 17 with back-to-back big catches.
4 plays, 80 yards in 43 seconds. And they put 8 on the board to get within a field goal.
Hey, D, it's on us. It's on us, D.
Been an up and down night for him, but Travis Lulay's found another weapon in the arsenal.
Up and down night after he took a big hit early in the game. But he's bounced back from that. And on the touchdown, it was really nothing fancy from him. He just straight runs down the field. The athletic part of this play is at the top of the route when the ball arrives, and the composure and body control from 17. He's just going to peel back out of there, turn his body completely around. He made it look easy, folks, but that's tough to do when you're running full speed down the field.
Well, now the Lions, unless there's a short kick plan, need a defensive stop. Does kick it away, and it's Dressler back in place of Jackson. And Dressler hits the deck at the 27-yard line. And now Kevin Glenn has a chance to run it out. But they need a first down or two.
You call up your Jacques Chapdelaine, especially on first down. You call up Anthony Allen or Jerome Messam, depending on who's in the rotation.
Roughriders have run the ball for 106 on the night, including that 146, including the 10-yard touchdown run on the last series by Anthony Allen. And it's Allen again, big surge up ahead to the 39 and a first down.
That's, as you talked about, the rushing yards for Saskatchewan, Chris. This is where everyone in the park knows it's going to 26 on first down. They want to kill the clock, keep the ball on the ground.
Timeout, BC.
BC linebackers loaded the box. They brought Solomon Elamimian real tight. They'd been playing Adam Big Hill off the line of scrimmage. They moved him up, expecting run, and that Rider O-line opened up holes for Allen.
212 yards rushing in the season opener, and up to 157 tonight. So the last time out has been used by Jeff Tedford.
If you're Mark Washington, you might want to run a full-out run blitz. Put your DBs in cover 0, which is basically man-to-man with no help in the middle. Just fill every gap on the line of scrimmage and get Saskatchewan in second and long.
Well, confusion here, and Glenn gets back to the line of scrimmage, but they misfired between Glenn and Messam that time.
Anthony Allen was in there first down, got the first down, reset the chains, and yeah, he went the wrong way. One of the two. Either Jerome Messam went the wrong way or Kevin Glenn did.
Got a yard, maybe 2. Now do you run it, or do you throw it with a danger of stopping the clock? They're going to run the football to Messam, and an extra effort to get close to a first down. He's going to be about a yard short. We'll see what forward progress is given here.
Yeah, where are they marking that? Because it looked like he fell forward and got there reaching out to it, but did the knee touch short of the first down?
Like about a half yard short, Suits.
Yeah, and the importance of this, they're going to measure it. They're going to bring the chains out. That's a dagger in the heart of this BC defense for Jeff Tedford.
And Corey Chamberlain's not wasting any time. Brett Smith is already on the field.
Short.
So they are short, but the short yardage team is ready to go.
Great second effort from Jerome Messam here, because first contact, he was well short. Number 33. Solomon Elamimian just gets chipped for a second by Chris Best. That holds him off just long enough, so it's an arm tackle, and it's tough to arm tackle Jerome Messam.
Messam was 3rd in the league coming into tonight in rushing, and he has 80 yards on 7 carries. But that extra surge, the extra 2 or 3 after contact, may have clinched this game. Unless the Lions can come up with a stop on 3rd and less than a yard. Smith ahead, And I'm not sure. Ball loose, and I didn't hear a whistle. And even if the Roughriders have it, they wouldn't have the first down if the fumble came before any whistle. It is BC football. Unbelievable.
Who came over the top for the BC Lions and put a huge hit on Brett Smith? He tries to slide off the right side of his line, and as he gets up there higher, it's Adam Bighill. He meets him right at the top of that pile, turns him back, ball comes loose. I didn't hear a whistle. Watch the hit.
Not sure who ended up with the football.
The previous play is under review by the command center.
And they are reviewing it, but where the ball is spotted, it would have been short of the first down. In fact, it's a loss of a full yard.
It was automatically reviewed on the turnover.
The bottom of the pile almost looked like there was a Rough Rider with it, but it might be academic. What they may be ruling was whether Brett Smith, his forward progress had been stopped, and whether or not the play would end there.
Exactly. Was the play ended at the forward progress, and did he have a first down there?
And is the ball loose before that or not?
Because once the ball is out, they didn't get it. It was short, no matter who recovers it at the end of that play. So it's either turnover and downs or a fumble turnover to the BC Lions, unless they rule that Brett Smith had achieved the first down, forward progress was stopped, and they would have to. I'm not sure how you overturn that with that huge pile and try and get the perspective on where his forward progress was, and I didn't hear a whistle.
We had so much fun doing overtime last week. Might be doing it again. Lions, if let's listen for a whistle. And no whistle.
There was the whistle right there at the end.
But they can still rule forward progress. I don't think they're going to.
But that was well after the fact. I don't think, you know, when the whistle is a second or two, then there could be a possibility. But then again, you have to determine from those replays, if you're the officials right now, did he get to first down territory, even if you're considering that. And I'm not sure you can overturn based on what we just saw.
If it's not, 43 seconds remain, plenty of time for BC to get into field goal range. They're virtually there now, or even score a touchdown to win it. Smith had scored a touchdown on a short yardage play earlier.
Let them continue.
Roughriders offense going back on the field to try and help influence the decision.
They're taking their time on this. When the defense was out there, I noticed that Tristan Jackson was back on the field. So if they do have to play defense,
take one more look down the line at the mayhem on what's become the biggest play of the night.
After review, the Saskatchewan ball carrier's forward progress was stopped before the fumble. However, he did not gain the necessary yardage for first down. It is first down BC on the 48-yard line.
so They did rule forward progress, but didn't have any evidence that he had gained first down territory.
So the ball's on the 48. And the BC Lions have a first down, trailing by 3. Jeff Tedford trying to keep the crowd quiet here, so Travis Lulay can bark the signals. Argos pulled one out in the final minute last week to force overtime. Is it going to happen again to the Roughriders here? Double tight ends. Lulay underneath, look out! A punishing hit by Jeff Knox on Harris. And that ball tipped up, was up for grabs.
Jeff Knox on the coverage.
Late flag for procedure well after the fact here.
They have an extra man in the huddle, 13 on the huddle.
Legal procedure, no end. BC. Penalties decline. Second down.
So it was a procedure call, an alignment issue, but
that flag came out well after the play was over.
Yep. Jeff Tedford trying to get a clarification. All for naught. It was an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10, and again they probably need about 5 yards to make it a little easier for a rookie kicker. Flag down. Olafioye looked like he came out of his stance just prior to the snap. The right tackle looked like he moved before the ball did. Olafioye doesn't like it.
Little flinch from Alex Hall, but Olafioye definitely moved.
BC 63. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Right tackle, Javon Olafioye, and there's Alex Hall.
Timer, please reset the clock. 3:38 seconds.
You can see, watch the little flinch by Hall there as he lifts up with the left elbow. That causes Olafioye to move. They call BC on it. They need about 10-15 now.
Otherwise, they're looking at 60-yard field goal. 2nd and 15. Lulay gets it away. Here comes another big hit. And a quick stop, and Tristan Jackson makes the play, coming back off the bench after being shaken up. A quick close there. Lions get 5 on the catch, and Morris shaken up after the pickup, and here comes Leone.
Well, you could see that coming because that took too long for Lulay to get the ball out there. Anytime you got that push route to the flat by either a running back, tight end, receiver, doesn't matter. If it takes too long, you're running into the corner on the outside. And that's when we see these big hits. This one was low from Tristan Jackson. These are successful plays when the ball is thrown well earlier.
Like the right knee took the worst of that.
Like that front right toe got stuck in the turf as he was getting hit.
So Leone on. He's had a few chip shots. Has hit a 42-yarder tonight. Missed a convert.
On the night that Paul McCallum returns to BC.
And told us yesterday his range was 54 or 55. Well, is Richie Leone's range 55? To tie the game. Leone has the distance. Got it! He dials up from long range.
Jeff Tedford told us yesterday he made the decision business decision because Richie Leone had such a big leg and could do all three. Money for the youngster, the rookie. With the former BC Lion for Saskatchewan watching on the other sideline, Paul McCallum. An 11-point lead disappears in under 2.5 minutes. And the rookie head coach still has a chance to win his first in 2015. Clock running, the Riders are going to settle for overtime, which is interesting, considering maybe 1 or 2 plays away from field goal range of their own. They have 12 seconds. And it's deja vu all over again. A lead in the fourth quarter collapses. And Corey Chamberlain's squad goes to OT once again. 17 points on their final 3 possessions to tie it. Take a look for the rules of overtime. And important to note for the play-by-play guy, after a touchdown, a team must attempt a 2-point conversion.
Yes, and that's too many games. The visiting team gets to call the coin toss. They have another coin toss, and the winner of the coin toss gets to decide if they want to play offense or defense first. Offense, so the Riders will start on offense here. If you're a Rider fan, you know the rules because we just showed them to you last week.
Fourth overtime game involving Saskatchewan in the last 5 in the league. Roughriders lost last week, so their record in the previous 3 now 1-2. BC won the toss and elected to play defense. Roughriders have to go first. What a tough way to try and win your first game of the year. A little confusion, and whoops, Taj Smith tripped over the line of scrimmage.
Kevin Glenn wanted the football and wasn't. Procedure. Saskatchewan number 66. 5-yard penalty. First down.
He wanted the football and wasn't getting it. I don't know if Dan Clark could hear it. Jeff Tedford getting the crowd going. The part of the crowd that haven't left, they left early thinking this one was over.
Yeah. But they're turning up the volume now. Double tights, 3 receivers set. 1st and 15. Glenn has time, and it's batted down. There's a play from Josh Johnson,
and he needs to make a couple penalty issues, but it can all go away quickly. And Josh Johnson can have a much better film session tomorrow with a couple of big plays in overtime. There's one. Got out there in his zone drop, and he got up. So now when Josh Johnson's watching film tomorrow, he knows when the bad plays are going to come up, and he's going to shrink down in his chair a little bit. Then he'll stand up tall when he sees that one.
Rookie Alex Carroll checks in for the Riders offense. 2nd and 15. Glenn steps up, fires incomplete, but a flag. Ronnie Yell stepped in front of Weston Dressler, but it's going against BC, and another penalty provides Saskatchewan.
Contact on a receiver, BC number 25. It's a 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't think that was at the point of attack. There's Weston Dressler on the outside. 25 is Ronnie Yell. He's covering him outside. Well,
that's it.
Contact beyond 5 yards.
17th penalty, 152 yards, but 10-yard penalty, so it's still 2nd down, 2nd and 5.
Pounded up there with Messi.
That's what they'll do. Left side, and close to the 1st down. Gonna mark him short.
No but the only difference being, and hey, Jacques Chapdelain's got it close. Short yardage has been an adventure, but I'm not sure I'm running Messam east-west off the top of a play like this when you need 4 yards. Just pound them straight up in there. But
Messam to the sidelines. Anthony Allen comes in with Spencer Moore. 3rd down, less than a yard.
Riders don't make it here. Their Lions need 1 first down and a field goal attempt.
And now the short yardage crew all comes in. A lot of confusion here.
McCallum's coming out.
McCallum is
so
coming out.
So they're going to kick the field goal.
Well, they didn't make 3rd and less than a yard earlier, so he wants to make sure there's points on the board. I'm a little surprised.
It's a yard.
Please reset the play clock to 16 seconds. 16 seconds.
Well, they're in this mess because they couldn't convert on 3rd and 1. 3rd and less than 1, and this is 3rd and less than 1.
You know, I took another look at the yardsticks. Corey Chamberlain went down, took a good look himself. It is a little bit less than a yard. Because of that stop on short yardage, the end of regulation. They're not taking a chance this time.
Really does open the door for BC. Paul McCallum for a Rough Rider lead. Out of Dressler's hold. McCallum money, but is 3 enough.
You know, this decision by Corey Chamberlain on a team that, yes, they scored a couple of scores in the 4th quarter against the BC Lions, but had trouble in the red zone up until that point. He wants to extend it to another mini game. Now he needs his defense to make a play or 2.
He's got the veteran kicker, and although Leone hits from 55, he still might be the guy who...
And Chris Weldon Brown,
yes,
has been on the sideline and not in the matchup with Arsenal.
So Brown out, Cam Moore also out for BC after that hit on the last drive. Lule long out, and there's Gore, got away! Sean Gore down the sidelines, and dragged down, finally by Michael Carter. But the Lions are 1st and goal for the win.
Lule has to strong arm it out there because Gore is the check down man in the zone. Now he makes one guy miss.
A 29-yard gain to the 6. Can they finish? Travis Lule at 400 yards passing on the night. 1st and goal. Andrew Harris stopped up. Macho Harris fills the hole and brings 33 down.
Like for a second there, Travis Lule was having problems with the communication in his helmet. He's trying to hear the call right after this play where Andrew Harris is stopped cold about the 5-yard line. Lule was gesturing that he couldn't hear the next play call. Looks like he got it in time here.
Second and goal from the 4. Lions looking for a win in their home opener. Lule, end zone, touchdown, game winner, Matty Arsenault.
They lost the matchup when they lost Weldon Brown to injury. And Arsenault beats Tyree Hollins for the winning touchdown.
Jeff Tedford's never going to forget his first CFL head coaching win.
Lule was going right to the matchup. He had the rookie corner with Weldon Brown on the bench against Manny Arsenault.
And there was no hesitation. Got his eyes to him immediately. Pushed off that back foot and put it right on the money.
7th catch of the night. Travis Lulay over 400 on the night. And an improbable win for the BC Lions. I want it! Second consecutive overtime loss for the Roughriders. Time now for the Nissan Titan Player of the Game, brought to you by Nissan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League.
Honorable mention to Andrew Harris. Had a big drive late in the game. But Lulay in his second start back from injury. His first start here in BC play since September of 2013. Got it done when he had to. Some red zone issues early in the game, but came back late, and that was the overtime winner to Manny Arsenal.
18 points after the 3-minute warning. No lead safe. The Roughriders learn that again painfully as they drop to 0-3. Jeff Tedford's in the win column. 35-32 in overtime. So long from BC.